So welcome, brother.
Thank you. Thanks for having me back.
Yeah. This is cool.
Yeah. It's been a minute.
Yeah. So the last time we talked, you were almost retired, getting ready to retire from the
Yeah.
Navy, and now you are.
Oh, very
Out.
much so. I am.
Mm-hmm.
I am completely free of that active duty life.
Yeah,
Actually, I just got my last little bits and bops done today. So
Oh, okay.
took them like 90 days, but hey, whatever. It took,
I mean, that's
took them too long.
not that long. That's not that long for the military, bro.
No, in the grand scheme of things, it's not. But it took me having to do it. It was kind of annoying.
Okay.
I had to do all the legwork between DFAS and the Navy.
Oh, nice.
DFAS kept asking for stuff, and the Navy's like, "We sent it," and they're like, "No, you didn't." So I finally was like, "I'll get the goddamn form," and I had to do it. I had to get the form and send it to DFAS myself.
Oh my god, for real, bro.
But I fixed it, so we're all good there.
Hell yeah, man.
I got my disabled veteran plates today.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm officially a disabled veteran. It's fucking weird.
Isn't that weird?
It's strange. It feels weird. It is weird.
It sounds weird to say it.
It does, because I'm like, I'm not disabled, but I'm broken, but I'm not disabled.
Right. I know, and now a lot of these things have, what was I filling out the other day? I was filling out something, and it might have been like job applications or some kind of application form. What the heck was I filling out for? But anyway, it was, they have these listings on there now for military vets. So it's like, do you categorize yourself as, or do you fall in this category? And it has this whole list of, disabled veteran kind of status thing or whatever. And I'm like,
wow.
Does it really matter if I answer this correctly?
I don't think they're allowed to ask that, but okay.
That's what I'm saying.
No. That's for like reserves. They're not supposed to ask you if you're a reservist or a National Guardsman. You've got this whole law called USERRA that protects you. They're not supposed to ask you that, and you can actually go after them federally. They're not supposed to. Are you one of them reservists who's going to deploy a lot? They're not supposed to.
Right. They can't discriminate for that. Yeah.
Mm-mm. Okay. Yeah, that's discrimination.
Huh. So I wonder what. Yeah. So what happened? What do they do when someone's gone for 2 weeks? They just have to cover your spot.
They have to let you go. Yeah, they don't have a choice. So technically, I learned a whole lot about the reserves and the Guard because of my last couple of years where I was at a reserve center. So technically, they can call your command and ask. They can he reschedule his drill? Theoretically.
Yeah.
But the command's going to say no, and then there's nothing they can do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they can try to plead their case if you are like super...
Like if you had a really important position or something.
Yeah, if you're super necessary and they're like, we can't lose him for this weekend, they could plead their case, but you're covered by USERRA, you're covered by this like actual law, so there's nothing they can do. Unless your commander is just like, yeah, sure, you could have him for the weekend, no big deal.
Yeah.
But that affects you because then if you can't make that time up, then you lose what's called a good year. And you could do 20 straight years, but if you have one quote unquote bad year, I mean, you didn't hit all your wickets, you have to do a 21st year to retire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the reserve side sucks. I was like, fuck that. I'm so glad I was active duty. I was like, 20 and done, man. I'm out. Peace. Thanks for playing. Thanks for having me in the club. It was nice being in the canoe club. I'm done.
That's crazy, man. Yeah, when I look back
squadron tonight.
What'd you got?
So I'm repping my squadron tonight.
Riverine, baby. There you go.
My old unit.
Yeah, man. Dude, you know what's weird is not long after that, not long after you and I talked, maybe a couple months or something after we talked, or a month or so, one of the groups I follow on here, Savage, I think it's Savage Actual.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's them. Anyway, they have these two guys that I follow. They do kind of like a impromptu like podcast stuff as well. They do a bunch of different. They have a fairly big YouTube channel, and they recently got into Airsoft in the last, year, 2 years or something. And they post military videos, like footage, all the time.
Oh, okay.
Like older, even from like the 80s and shit up to now. And they posted a video of the Riverines.
Really?
Yeah, dude. Like, it was crazy. It's on their Instagram. And
I'm gonna have to check that out.
You have to check it out.
Yeah,
it was really cool. And I was like, dude, this is we were just talking about this.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see if that's any of my dudes. If it's Squadron 1 or 2 or 3.
Yeah, dude.
Or if it's Coastal Riverines.
Because they do when they do that, when they post that. Let me see where.
My phone.
When they post that stuff, they put like a big description on it. Detailed description.
What's the name of their group?
That's what I'm looking at right now. I'm trying to make sure I didn't confuse it with something else. I think it's Savage Actual is their Instagram. Let's search it real quick, like.
Savage.actual?
I think so. They're two jarheads that were in like.
Gotta love jarheads.
Yeah, right. I think these are. Yeah, they were Spec Ops. And their YouTube has like. Oh no! Wait. Is this them? Their YouTube has a bunch of. Like, it's a pretty big YouTube channel. They'll do like reaction videos and shit too. Let me make sure this is the right channel. Yes, this is them.
Yeah, I see some boat stuff. That looks like it looks like Marine Corps boat guys, dirty boat dogs.
Okay, on their Instagram?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, we had a lot of crossover with like the Marine small craft company guys. We took the mission over from them.
Oh, okay. Right. Yeah, that's what you were saying.
And so we had a lot of crossover with them early on, and then it's come full circle. They've taken it back. So
really,
there's pretty much. I mean, they're not doing the full on Riverine mission per se, but they're doing a lot of their own boat work again. There's an entire Instagram page called like Dirty Boat Dogs. It's pretty cool, and it's all like Marine boat guys. Yeah, it's a bunch of Marine boat guys doing cool boat shit.
Yeah, I it was really cool because when I saw it, I was like, oh, I know about these guys now because of this guy, Muddy, I talked to. Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, the boat communities are small. I mean,
I'll bet.
We don't know each other, but all the little boat communities know the other boat communities. Mm-hmm. They're not really big.
It makes sense.
It's kind of because it's a small niche little world.
Yeah,
and everybody's got the little hierarchy, and we all talk shit about each other. It's fun.
Of course,
it was a good time.
Yeah, we always do that. It's like the talk shit about each other, and then somebody on the outside talks shit about you, and you're like, wait, hold on, what?
Yeah,
you
exactly.
Can't say that.
Yeah, you can't talk shit. We'll talk shit all day long, but if someone else talks shit about another like boat, you're like, yo, you don't know nothing about boat life. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
you don't know nothing about this.
Uh-huh.
Stay in your lane.
Yeah, stay in your lane, buddy. That's
stay dry.
No shit. But, cool, man. So what you been up to, bro? So you got so what are you doing? So how long? Yeah, I was gonna say, how long have you been? When was your last day? When was your last day where you walked off the base?
27 July. Well, no. Let me back that clock up a bit. So I had terminal leave. So really, like May 8th was my last day, like in uniform, working. Was 8 May.
The last day that you actually did you went around and said bye to everybody, kind of thing.
Well, I popped in and out, but the last day that I had to actually like have a duty day and function and put my camis on and do work was like 8 May, and then so like 9 May I officially started growing this luscious thing out, and there was a couple times they were like, "Hey, we want you to come in and throw a uniform on." I was like, "No, I'm not shaving. So what do you need?" And they're like, "Well, we need you to sign some stuff." I'm like, "Okay, cool." Or we want you to come in and receive your final award. I'm like, "Well, what is it?" "Well, we can't tell you." I'm like, "Then I'm not coming in. I'm not shaving because if it's anything less, I mean, this is gonna sound like a dick, but if it's like anything less than a Navy Achievement Medal or higher, I'm not shaving to come in for that.
Right. Send it to me.
This is my retirement award.
Yeah.
If you're gonna give me something like a letter of comm, you're gonna make me look like a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be standing in front of all these people
dressed up, shaven,
just to have me a little letter
like
of appreciation.
An inspection. Yeah, that's dumb.
Yeah. I was like, fuck you. No, you gotta tell me what it is. We can't. I'm like, then I'll just send it to me in the mail. And they did. I got it in the mail 2 or 3 weeks ago. It was a NAM, but I didn't care at this point. I was so burned out.
What is it?
And so ready to leave.
Navy
Achievement Medal.
Okay.
It should have been a comm, technically, but I don't care. Really don't care. I'm not wearing it anymore, so who gives a shit?
Right.
It's not gonna. It didn't help me make E7, so I don't care. It's pretty. It's on a wall. It's not on the wall. It's actually like on a bookshelf, just tucked away. Don't really care. It was nice.
I had my medals and ribbons and stuff. I had on my dress blue, still pinned on from the last, right before I got out. I think it was the last Marine Corps ball I had gone.
Mine are too. Mine are still on my blues. They're hanging in the closet.
So I had all my stuff in my sea bag, right? After I got out, I mean, this is years later. I had my dress blues hanging up in my closet for a long time, quite a few years. Okay,
of course, that's kind of what everybody does: just tuck them in a closet and forget about them.
Yeah, tucked them in the closet, and then, but everything else, like my extra camis, I was actually wearing my boots. I wore my boots for those things. My combat boots, my original combat boots, lasted forever, bro. Oh, those are the high top. Those are the high tops. Because those were before, when I was in, they were still doing, we didn't have the desert cami ones, or we didn't have desert camis.
You had the old black boots.
We had the old black boots that were real high, with the speed laces. So I was wearing
those. That's what I had when I first came in.
Okay, yep, that's right.
Yeah,
yeah, and then they went to the suede, but
yeah, they're nice though, the suede. I won't lie. Yeah,
they look nice. I never wore them. Well, my son bought some for these mil sims and stuff. But yeah, I had all my shit in my sea bag, and even my folder with my DD-214, everything in there.
I had all my stuff in your sea bag.
Yeah, because when we moved so many times after I was discharged. So it was just my wife and I. We stayed in California for a while after. So we moved like every 3 to 6 months. If we found a cheaper apartment, we hardly had anything. We had a bed, we had a dresser, and a freaking, a couch and a tiny dining room table. I mean, I'm talking like a fold-out one, right?
Yeah,
and really light chairs. Like, we didn't have a lot of
college
shit.
Students.
Yeah, and and a TV, like a small TV. But we'd move if we could find a rent, an apartment that was like $60 or $80 cheaper a month. Oh, yep, let's go, and it's right down the road.
Oh,
so we
moved,
so I just started packing all my shit, and I just left it in the sea bag. So all my shit was in there. Well, then later on, when we moved, from California to Ohio, I had put my dress blues in the sea bag. I folded them up real nice. Anyway, everything from the military was in my sea bag. Well, then my sea bag got ruined. A gallon of milk spilled on it. We didn't know. So the gallon of milk spilled upstairs.
Gross.
Okay.
Yeah.
These were in the house we were in Ohio had basements, and the basement stairs. When you walk in the side door, the little landing right there. Yep. So the kids were helping, bring all the groceries in. It was snowing like crazy out. I'm talking snowflakes like 2 inches big, bro. The ground was already getting slippery as shit. Okay, it's like dark as hell. It was like 7:00 at night. Kids are all bringing stuff in. It was like a Friday night. The kids had one of their friends spend the night, so he was helping too. And they were trying to like streamline this process, right? They're handing each other stuff into the doors, up to little landing steps or whatever. So
working party.
They were doing great. And somebody just slipped and dropped the gallon of milk. It splattered all over the floor. We cleaned everything up, no big deal. And then probably 2 weeks later, we start smelling like a dead dog underneath the house. I'm like, what is down in the basement, bro? Like, so I go under there. My sea bag was like one of the only things down there.
Ooh, it's that canvas too.
It was seeped in, like almost a whole gallon of milk had gone into.
Gross.
So it was, what that, black
I know
mold,
exactly what that's like. Yeah.
And just all kind of, so anyway, so I'm pulling stuff out and I'm trying to clean it off, and my DD-214 was ruined. The whole folder was ruined with all my accommodation letters and stuff. I couldn't even wipe it off to get, so smearing everything. Done. So my uniforms got ruined. I was like, I'm not taking these to dry cleaner. I'm done. So
I don't think there's any saving them at that point.
No. So I had to request another DD-214, and that takes for frickin' ever. But that is horrific. I lost all that shit. Yeah, I actually had an accommodation letter from a sheriff's department for working. The first job I had when I moved back to Ohio after I got out was in this factory. It was my first factory job. I was there for almost 9 years. But it was aluminum die casting, and we made transmission part, the valve body for your transmission, internal brain of your transmission. And so anyway, it's aluminum die casted part. It's about, most of the valve bodies are about a foot by a foot, okay, and maybe about 2 inches thick. And so anyway, they go through a trim press once they're to cut all the flash around the sides off, and this guy caught his arm in the trim press. So his hand didn't get caught in the trim press; it got caught on the guide pins. The guide pins are 2-inch thick steel, 2-inch wide,
Jesus.
And they go into a hole, that guides basically the mold for the for the press to line up correctly or whatever. So he got his arm stuck on that because he jumped over the safety gate, and which we did quite often to line these things up. But his sleeve, we had to wear long sleeves because the liquid aluminum's like 1350 degrees, whatever. Well, he didn't unbutton it. We'd always unbutton it if we were going to do that and reach our hand in there so we didn't get snagged. He didn't unbutton it.
Yeah.
And so that little piece got, the hole right there got caught on the guide pin, and it just went right through his wrist right here below his palm. Ooh. 2-inch hole.
Terrible.
And so he had just a thin piece. It went right through the middle. A thin piece of skin on either side and maybe some tendons holding his hand on. And I was the first one on the scene. I had just come back from lunch. I walked out into the plant, walked through the door, and I see him holding his arm. And I look down and I see all this red all over the safety yellow stand to get up to the trim press. And I'm like, it didn't register right away. I'm like, oh shit. Like then I saw his face. I was like, okay, he's starting to turn white. He's going into shock. So, and he's got a death grip on this thing. He's got his gloved, he's got a glove on his left hand. He's holding it. So I bring him down. His name was Rusty. I bring him down, and I took care of him until the paramedics got there, which was literally 20, 25 minutes, I think it was, before they could get there. We worked way out kind of in the sticks. And so I got everybody away from there because dudes would come over there, and I got him laying down. I got his leg propped up, his head propped up. I got the shit. I'm putting, we had a fire blanket. I told my boss to get the fire blanket, I put it over him, and I'm talking to him, and every time I'd get his attention and have him, recite something like his name or what day it is, another person would come over and they're looking down at him and they're going, looking terrified, and then it freaks him out. And I'm like, dude, get these guys out of here. So I told my boss, Ron, I was like, get him out of here right now. So I just stayed with him until they got there. And so I was like, hey, let me look at your arm, see what we're dealing with here. I said, I don't think it's that bad, man. Honestly, I don't think it's that bad. So he finally let go because he was squeezing it pretty hard. Okay. I mean, he was just seizing up, right? So he finally let it go, and I went to move his hand out of the way, and my 2 middle fingers went right through the hole, and I could feel the inside. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm trying to keep a poker face, okay? And I go, okay. I said, man, it's not that bad. They're going to fix you up. He's like, and he's just like, he won't even talk, okay? And so then they finally got there. But anyway, I got a letter of accommodation from the sheriff's department from that town saying, hey, good job, whatever. But anyway, that was in there as well with all the other shit. And all this stuff got ruined. And my wife was like, oh, no. I was like, it's just stuff. Who cares?
Yeah, it is what it is. You know what you did. You have the memories.
I know what I did. It's fine.
Yeah.
Like I'm not, and that it stung. It stung like the my uniforms and stuff. I don't know why. I wasn't gonna wear them ever again. But I'd spent so much time earning that dress blues, bro.
Yeah, exactly. You earned it. I mean, and that was your original set. And,
yeah.
So what's funny is pretty much all of my uniforms, mine is just like my blues. I think one set of whites, one set of blues, and my camis. I got rid of all of them. Like the day I was officially retired, all that shit went in a fucking trash bag, and I took it to a Goodwill, and I was like, "Here you go."
Oh shit!
All the extra shit I didn't need to keep. I was like, I don't want this stuff anymore. It's literally taking up space in my closet.
Yeah,
and I'm trying to move. I was like, I don't need this crap. Well, it's a lot. All that's gone. Like I got rid of everything. I just kept.
Good for
you. Excuse me. I kept the bare essentials, and I'm like, everything else needs to go. This stuff will go in a shadow box possibly one day, or sit in my closet. But all this other crap, I don't need it.
Right.
I don't need a complete sea bag of shit like sitting here plus some. I kept one set of camis with my name tapes and all my other stuff. The other set I stripped them. I'm going to use them for Airsoft and cut them up and do whatever. Yeah, I'll be a big nerd in them. I'll LARP around.
You just you supplied some people that want to do the stolen valor thing, right? That's where they go
exactly.
Get
they go to Goodwill. They get
more power to you, man. Go get it.
They can go get their free omelet on Veterans Day. Enjoy.
I know, right?
You can go fight the crowds for the free omelet. No, thank you.
I heard somebody talking, like a couple of people asked me about, being a military vet. Do you care? Like, how do you feel about stolen valor thing? I'm like, I don't care, dude. Like, it's not worth my time to worry about. Like, what? Why am I going to follow somebody around and film them and try to get them in trouble? Like, because they want bragging rights. I don't give a shit what kind of lies they're telling. And then I've heard people say, like, well, I think people like veterans that have been in combat really care that, this stolen valor. I'm like, I don't think they do, bro. I really don't think they care about that much.
It's usually the ones who haven't been in combat. They get super bent out of shape. I mean, there are the ones who have been in combat that do, and I think it all depends on what you have done and maybe what they're wearing at the time, and what the context is of what the stolen valor is. Mm. Like, are they showing up to like a random military funeral dressed like that? Because sometimes people will just show up to funerals, and that's weird. And I would probably get in somebody's ass for that.
Yeah.
But if they're just walking around or trying to get on a plane, I'm like, whatever, man. You look like a dickhead.
They're on a college campus, trying to impress some girls. Okay, whatever. Have fun, bro. I will say, so this one story I heard this guy was talking to, I feel like this one is something I would be pissed about, is this guy that they played Airsoft, an Airsoft I was talking to recently. Mm-hmm. Said a guy that was on their team, was kind of like in charge of their team or whatever for quite a long time, and he told everyone that he knew that he made up these stories, whatever, like that he was special forces this is in the UK, and that he was So now this went on for, I don't know, I think he said around a year. And every time, and so all these new people that come into the team, and of course there's all this respect for him and stuff because listen to him, he knows what he's talking about, this kind of thing, and he would go really, really elaborate on these stories, like he would tell quote unquote war stories.
It's your first mistake,
bro. And so what I guess I'm trying to think, there was one or two guys. Oh, there was a couple guys that were actual military vets, that were in combat, and they pointed out flaws in his story. They finally, I guess they had heard of him or met up with him or saw him on the field or whatever it was, and they were like, wait, what? You were where? That unit wasn't, whatever it was that
It's
pointed
so
out
easy to hear it out.
Yeah.
It really is.
And so it really is. And it's so then it all blew up. And this was a team that this guy I was talking with and some of his other friends were on for quite a while.
Yeah.
And it really gave them they were all pissed because this dude had been lying to them for so long. So that I think I would be pissed about. Not necessarily just because of the stolen valor thing, but because you're really
lying.
taking it to another level. Yeah, you're lying like crazy, bro.
And that's the one thing I never understood about these dudes who want to do stolen valor. They never want to be just, okay, I was a regular line infantryman with 1-5 weapons company.
Dude, they do better.
Something like that.
If that would be smarter. It would be smarter.
Yeah, say you were
it's easier to keep that story going.
Yeah, I was 3-1. I was with weapons company. Oh, okay, no one's gonna bat eye at that. But when you start saying shit like, "Well, I was a Green Beret," or "I was a SEAL," or those are small
communities, bro,
and they know each other.
They're tight. They're
very tight and they're very small. And the first thing someone's going to ask you, for SEAL team stuff, like buds, they're going to ask you, "What was your buds class? Who was your swim buddy?" That's the first two things they're going to ask you. And that's verifiable. That's the problem with that. It's not like you can make some shit up and it pass the sniff test. You have to know that. You're going to know what your buds class was and who your swim buddy was.
Right.
And they can look that shit up. It's not hard to do. Don Shipley he's made a whole YouTube career of finding these dickheads and just blowing them out of the water. I lost you.
That might be one of okay.
There we go. Right.
That might be one of the guys that I've seen before where he catches some dudes, and it's funny.
He's a retired SEAL. He was a Master Chief, if I remember correctly. You know the GBRS group? You ever heard of them?
Who is
GBRS group? They
I don't know.
They do gear now. They're all former Tier 1 SEAL guys. DJ, one of the GBRS group guys, that's Don's son. That's DJ Shipley. He was at one point, or either is, or at one point was one of the youngest guys to go through buds. I think he went through buds at 17 or something.
What?
Yeah, DJ.
Shit.
If I remember correctly, DJ went through buds at 17 because I think he was on his first combat deployment with the SEAL team at 19.
Oh my god!
If I remember correctly,
is he the youngest SEAL ever? Well, maybe not ever.
I don't think so. He was one of the youngest SEALs to go through buds, if I remember correctly. I mean, someone will fact check me probably in the comments, but I know DJ. I don't know DJ, but I know of DJ. Everybody who has lived in Virginia Beach and has been in either the Navy or the combat arms community in the Navy, or around the SEAL teams, or an airsofter, probably knows who DJ is. Just knows of him.
I'm looking up their Instagram right now.
He's just a famous guy now. Okay. I mean, and he ended up going to Dev Group. He was a Dev Group guy for a while. Then he got medically retired. He's a badass dude. He's a smart guy. Big guy, smart dude, great guy. But yeah, his dad is Don Shipley. And Don Shipley was a SEAL. And then he pretty much raised DJ to be a SEAL.
Mm-hmm.
I know, I have friends who grew up with around DJ when he was a kid. Their brothers used to skateboard with him and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of how I knew of him, because of talking to them. They're like, "You know who this guy is?" I'm like, "No fucking clue." They're like, "Oh, he's a SEAL, blah blah." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And it was just, and then seeing him later when he did GBS, I'm like, "Oh, you're the same dude." Oh my god, I know you through proxy. I know of you through proxy through other people. I've heard of you, and wow, oh my god, okay, you're the same guy.
Yeah, that's cool. What you drinking, man?
It's a seven ways of Kevin Bacon thing. Liquid Death. It's water.
Oh, dude, that thing's dope. Hey, so
it looks like a beer. I got funny.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was. No, I thought it was an energy drink. So I was over at my son's, and I texted. I was doing some stuff in his yard for him while he was at work, and this is a few weeks ago. So I was like, "Hey, man, you still got those? I'm gonna grab one of these energy drinks out of your fridge." I thought they were. He had a whole case of Liquid Death in there, and he's like, "Oh, you mean that sparkling water?" I'm like, "What?" And I looked at the can. I'm like, "Oh shit, it is!" It's
They're
like
good,
purified water. Oh, they're good as hell.
Yeah.
I drank one. I was like, and it's funny because like the next day, I was in this gas station getting, C4 energy drink or something, and this lady walks in, and she's a Liquid Death rep, and she was trying to get this gas station as a new client. So she brought all this stuff in, and I said, "Oh," and I saw her. She was good looking, and she had this polo shirt on. I saw it. I was like, "Oh yeah, I just tried my first one of those yesterday at my son's house. I thought it was an energy drink when I first opened it, but it's like really, good water." She's like, "Yeah, it's good water." She said the reason they do the cans is to get away from the plastic bottle epidemic.
Yeah.
It's like, which I think is great because I've been.
Oh yeah, hands down.
Yeah, I taught my kids when they were little, even 20 years ago. I was like, don't be a litter bug. Like, take care of your trash because trash is going to be a real problem in the future. And this is before Wally came out. I didn't predict it. I'm just saying, like, it's just people don't take care of their shit and they throw shit everywhere. We need to figure out a better way. There is.
Hey, look at the Pacific garbage patch.
Yeah, I'm saying it's nasty.
The gyre.
There's better ways. Just governments spend more money on themselves than fixing problems. But
don't even get me started on that.
Well, look, this stolen valor thing. I was telling this guy that was telling me about that one. With his airsoft group. I was like, we had a guy that when the last place I worked before I was paralyzed, whatever. These guys, when I came in, they're new. One of the guys I had known, he's the one that taught me, or talked to me about this job. So I went over there and he knew I was a vet. So he's like, "Hey man, we got this new guy. It's only been here a couple weeks before you started that, he's fairly young and he's talking all this mad shit about how he was a Green Beret, like classic story." I'm like, "Oh, okay, well, I'll have to meet him."
Love the Green Berets.
Yeah, dude. And he's like, he's got some wild stories. I was like, "Oh, really? I want to hear him," So, anyway, so the first day I met him, we're talking, he's a nice guy, real fidgety.
Yeah.
But he's real young, scrawny dude. And, he's talking about, so I didn't ask him anything about the military purposely.
Yeah.
I wanted to, see how often, like how ambitious he is about his lies. Okay.
You play low key. You just let them talk.
Yeah. So, he's like, "Yeah, just," and the thing is, the other thing too, you can kind of tell, is they bring it up purposely in the weirdest times. Like it's not in the flow of conversation. It's like totally off topic. Okay. Like we're just, introducing each other and like, we're just talking to each other like, "Hey, what's up?" Like, "Okay, how long you been here?" "Oh, 2 weeks, I was in the Army." "Yeah, I was Green Beret." Okay.
Cool.
And cool story, bro.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing.
But anyway, so I played dumb, like I didn't hear it, didn't know anything. So I was like, "Okay, so awesome, man. When did you go to boot camp?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I was in the summertime." I was like, "In the summertime? Okay, where'd you go?" And he said some whatever fort somewhere. I was like, I couldn't remember the Army bases, but I couldn't remember if that was one of them or not. But anyway, I was like, "Okay, well, so when did you go? Was this a couple years ago?" "Yeah, it was just a couple years ago." "And you were in Green Berets and you're already out?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I said, "So when was your ship out date? Like, when did you go to boot camp?" And, "Oh yeah, it was like I said, it was in the summertime." I'm like, bro,
that's not what
you don't forget the day you go to boot camp. Nobody forgets the day they go to boot camp because we're all scared. Okay.
Yeah.
I know the minute I left. I'm telling you.
Hell yeah, I do too. I know exactly how it went down.
So anyway, I changed the subject when he didn't answer. I was like, "Okay, I already know. It's fine."
Yeah.
But
you're full of shit.
He's totally full of shit. So we changed the subject. We had a good conversation for just meeting each other and stuff. So it was fine. But so then the machine breaks. You get distracted. You go to work. And so a couple days later, I walk over after fixing my machine, and he's standing with the some of my buddies, whatever. It was like 4 or 5 guys standing around, and he's telling this elaborate story about how in Green Beret training, the last test they have to do to become a Green Beret is hunt and kill a buck, like a deer, a male deer, only with your combat knife.
Oh yeah, that's the last part of the Q course.
I walked up on the last part of the story, and I heard that, and I go, and then he pulls his shirt up on his side, and right above his waistline with his work pants, he's got like a scar here, and he said, "Yeah, that's where he gouged me with his antler." And I started busting out laughing, and I said,
"Oh, dude!"
And I'm looking around at everybody, and I'm like, and everyone's kind of serious, and I look at him, I'm like, I'm the only one laughing, and I go, "Bro, you all know that's bullshit, right?" It's like,
wow.
What? And then everyone kind of dispersed. They had stuff to do, and I go, dude. And so it was just me and him standing there. He starts continuing the story. I said, "Hey, man, I know, right? Like, you don't have to keep going. It's a cool story. I think it's fun. I really think it's fun. It's fun to listen to, but you really don't have. I already know." And he's like, "No, what?" And I said, "Bro, come on. You can talk to them. I don't care what you tell them, but bro, you're so full of shit." And I said, I was in the Corps, right? Like, I already know you're not. He was just like, oh. He had that, blank look on his face, and he just walked away.
That's fantastic.
Oh, yeah. So
people like that would be so much fun for me, because I'm like, oh, cool, you were a Green Beret?
It's so funny.
What group were you with?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, blah, blah. And I would love for them just to throw out the group that my homie's at. So I'm like, oh, cool. So maybe you know my buddy. What's your name? Let me give him a call. I want to see if you know my homeboy. Wait, what?
I know, man.
When you can kind of like vibe check somebody's bona fides like on the spot.
Yeah,
that's like the best in the world. Because then they're like, wait, what? They're like, yeah, hold on. Let's get my homeboy on the phone real quick.
Let's check it out.
He'll know. He'll probably remember you.
It was so funny.
Small world, right?
I know. That's now that we talk about it, I feel like I would really have fun, like talking to these guys and like ousting them. You know what I mean? Like,
part of me would.
Not like in a mean way, just in a like. I want to hear what stories they're gonna make up. Like, dude, what was the worst shit you were in, man? Like, you were in the shit, bro. Like, what was the worst shit you were in? And then just let them talk.
Haze them. You just want to let them talk and then haze them and then leave just laughing at them like you're an idiot.
That'd be so funny, dude. Okay. Yeah.
That's fantastic on so many levels. But so I guess like bringing it back around, so what I've been doing, decompressing.
Yeah.
And learning how to be a person again.
Yeah.
Which they don't.
Robot.
Not necessarily not a robot, just a regular person. Like, I don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
At all. I legitimately don't have to do shit right now. It's the strangest thing in the world. I don't have to work, technically, because I'm trying to go back. I'm going back to school. Okay. So I'm in the school pipeline right now, just waiting to get my final like letter from school saying welcome aboard. Do your thing.
Yeah.
We had we're chilling in a smaller house. I mean, as you can see, this like the extent of my airsoft room has been condensed to this table behind me.
Yeah.
That's where I film now. It's like out in the living room. We're in a much smaller place. We're out in the middle of the country. I mean, I'm just relaxing, and it's really cool but weird. Because, like, I don't have to get up and go to work. I don't have to check in with, like, a Master Chief or some LPO, or I don't have people checking in with me as the LPO.
Yeah.
So I'm not, like, responsible for 15 other, like, 20-year-old kids. So that's weird within itself. I'm just responsible for my kids in the other room and myself and my wife.
Yeah.
So that's been a neat experience and a neat transition. To just be like,
are you liking it so far? Are you and your wife? Yeah. Do you find like you guys are still good to go as far as your relationship, or has it changed because you have more time together now? Like
no, we spent a lot of time together. Me and my wife spent as much time together as we could.
Yeah.
We got told by so many different people how weird we were. We were weirdos because we like to hang out with each other. They're like, you guys spend a lot of time together. We're like, yeah, that's my wife.
That's what you're supposed to do.
I love her, and she's like my best friend. that's weird. Like, oh, all right. I guess that's weird to you, not weird to us. But, like, we did everything together. I mean, not everything. We spend time apart, but we spend a lot of time together. We hang out. We actually enjoy each other's company.
Right.
So
that's good.
This hasn't been a massive transition. If anything, it's just made it even better because now neither of us has to go off and like, oh, I got to go to work for the next 8 or 9 hours. Just like, so we just hang out.
Yeah.
My sleep has been fantastic.
Oh, good.
Because I've been, so I keep burping. I had dinner right before we got on. I've been doing, so CBD oil is legal in Texas.
Yeah.
And I've been doing CBD, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's legal here too. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not doing like the THC stuff. It's just I don't know what it's called. It's one of specifically, it's like a tincture. It's specifically formulated for sleep.
Yep.
And I've taken like a gummy and a little bit of this tincture for sleep, and my sleep is the best it's been in 15 years.
I believe it. I've tried it.
Get up.
I've tried that stuff.
Yeah. It is phenomenal. Like my mood. I mean, because I talked about it on the last podcast. You know, having PTSD and like anxiety and stuff.
Sure.
I'm not like, oh no, crazy veteran, but it's a thing. You know, I have it. It's what it is, and my anxiety can come and go. It can get ups and downs, but it's been better on the CBD. It probably helps that I'm also out in the middle of the nowhere, so I don't have to deal with people.
Right.
But I can handle like traffic better. But when I have to go into the city for like an hour away, the highways don't stress me out like they used to. Driving on the highway used to stress me out. I was like, fuck, I hate this shit. Because it was like being on a convoy. I hated it. I hated every second of it.
Yeah.
I would speed like crazy. My wife would like, slow down. I'm like, speed security.
Just hurry up and get to where you need to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get off the road.
Yeah, you got to get there, back, off the road, get away from stuff. Because everything was a threat, you know, while you're there, while you're moving. Yeah. And now I'm not as like, fuck, everything's a threat. It's kind of nice. So that's been fantastic. The Airsoft side of the house has been pretty cool. The channel took a hit during the transition. I had to like throttle back a little bit.
Oh, sure.
That kind of sucked because it was really getting some good momentum. And then all of a sudden it was like, the Navy was like, hey, 2 weeks, you got to go. I was like, fuck. It was kind of like a really quick transition. So I had to like throttle everything back, stop, you know, the kind of makings that like move everything. I had to change my production schedule for a hot minute for like about 3 months, almost 4 months. And it just felt like it kind of stagnated the growth a little bit.
Sure. But
it's not too bad. I'm sitting at like, as of today, I'm sitting at like 1605.
Okay.
So not too bad.
Yeah.
It's definitely still growing pretty steady. And I'm back up to the original like schedule, the 3 days a week like timeline. We'll see and it should be sustainable, I hope. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. That's good, dude.
And and the regulars on my channel have been really cool. Like I put the little community tabs up and just be like, hey, this is going on. Hey, this is going on. Because I like to kind of keep people in the know. And they've all been like fucking, the ones who would comment have been all been fucking awesome. They've been all like, hey man, take your time, do what you got to do.
Oh, absolutely.
We'll still be here when you're ready. And I'm like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just slowing down.
Right.
So that's been really cool. Everybody's been really supportive. So. And then I'm just
if you look at your analytics a lot, it's which I did as well. Yeah. I mean, I try to learn from it, but
that's what I'm trying to do.
Right. But you get used to seeing those numbers when you're putting out consistent content. And then when you stop, like I stopped, I didn't put out any podcast the whole month of August. I took the whole month of August off. I had, family stuff. You know, we went out to Utah for 2 weeks out of August. So, matter of fact, this shirt I got in a gift shop at the park that has the arches there.
Oh, very cool.
I said when we go there, I told my wife, I was like, I want to buy a shirt, hat, sunglasses, whatever, like everything at the gift shop, so I look like a tourist. I want to look like a tourist. She's like, what? Why? I was like, because it's
Why
fun,
not?
man. Because like,
Because that's what you're there for.
yeah, you're gonna have some people that are locals are gonna be like, snub their nose at you, like, oh shit, here we go, But but
You're
most
like, I'm
people
paying
are
your
really
economy. Calm
helpful.
down.
Right. Most people are really helpful, man. They're so they see you kind of walking around like that, like they're like, oh yeah, and they start telling you all the different things about it. I think it's great. So anyway, we did that, but yeah, I did the same thing. I shut down everything for a whole month, and even now, since I've been back, I haven't been on the same schedule. Like I was doing the same thing that you were doing. I was doing 3 podcasts a week, releasing 3 podcasts a week, and it's a heavy schedule for
it really is.
Yeah, for anything like what you're doing, So it's like a week goes fast, bro. It goes fast, and when you're working, really and then you're doing this on the side, it's it is it's a lot. So
yeah, that was a lot of work when I was working. On active duty, dealing with all my medical stuff, all my separation stuff, my actual job, and it was a lot of work. It was a lot more work than people realize.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, to stay consistent, I think that's the biggest thing. Like you can do some of these longer videos, like gameplay videos and stuff. Some of these popular channels that do for Airsoft, they do. They'll go out and film. They'll go to one event maybe every month and a half that they film at, and then they'll cut that up. It still takes a lot of work. It still takes a lot of work. I'm not, saying it doesn't. It takes a lot of work to film it, to get all these different angles and make sure all your stuff's working, and be on top of your shit for that. But and then to edit it, but it's like less consistent of filming, like one big bulk film, then split it up, and like what you're doing and what I was doing is I'm actually recording with people 3 times a week or 4 times a week or 5 times a week, however many, whenever our schedules line up. And then you're doing the same thing. Like you're recording those videos, maybe all, in a couple days or 3 or 4 or 5 days. But, typically it's, you're filming all these separate type of things to review.
Yeah.
And then, and then editing it and posting it and trying to stick on that consistent.
Yeah, sometimes you're batch recording, so you're doing 7, 8 reviews back to back to get it all done, so you can get it into the queue to edit and get it all out, and then and you're just like boom, boom, boom. And that's where we're at right now. We're getting to the point where we're almost queued up through January with enough content stuff to. Yeah, well, I made an investment. So once my retirement stuff started kicking in, I was like, okay. I had a bunch of stuff planned already. I kind of had my year planned out, what I wanted to try to do, and I just started picking stuff up. And I've been picking stuff up that I've been wanting to get. I've got a few more things I want to grab, so I kind of got the rest of the year planned out. So that way I can just kind of go into what I guess call it like maintenance mode. So I can just start picking up a thing or two here, digging through the collection, and then just reviewing stuff little by little like that. And that way I can keep it going forward instead of having to go, shit, I didn't buy something this month or this week, and now I have nothing to review. And that's the catch-22 about a review channel. Yeah. If you don't have something to review, you have no content.
That's it.
But then you have to get creative. Like I've done some videos where I started talking about, well, this is how you install this. This is how this shit works, or this is a kit build, So I have those extra things, and
you can get really detailed on some of the things that, especially that are probably common issues or common questions or things like that.
That's kind of where I'm trying to go. Like I have a whole nother set of videos I want to start doing. I want to call them some assembly required, and I want to start doing a whole section of videos where it's, okay, this comes to you, now what do you do? Because this shit's in pieces. This is how you set this up. This is how this pouch goes together. This is how this plate carrier goes together. And just sit there and record me putting it together. And then talking about how it goes together. How it properly goes together. Because some of with the way the gear goes nowadays, a lot of that plate carrier behind you is a great example. That's a Faro mostly a Faro Concepts. That's a la carte. You don't buy that and get the whole thing. It's plate bags. That's all you get. Then you got to get the cummerbund separate. You got to get the shoulder pads separate.
What?
You got to get the
what comes with it when you buy it?
Plate bags, front and back. That's it. That's all you get. Just a plate bag, a front and back bag.
Huh.
So you have to get a cummerbund separate from it. You have to get shoulder pads. You have to get something to carry your mags. Everything's separate. And you have to put it together. And it doesn't come together. So both plate bags come apart. You got to put the plate bags together. So there's some assembly required. Ironically.
Yeah, show us your gear, man. You got all this stuff sitting back here?
So this mag pouch here, this is the Faro Concepts. I got this. This will be coming out in a review soon. But this is the Faro Concepts double pistol pouch. When you get this, you have to put all this together, like the cordage and everything. You got to like put it together.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't come like already set. You got to like tie it all off, and it's not like a lot of work. But
yeah, right. But still,
it's still stuff.
You're gonna have questions.
These holsters.
Yeah,
you got to put all this stuff together.
Mm-hmm.
None of this. I just reviewed this. This actually hit the channel a couple days ago. This was the. Sorry, my hands are full. The Edgar Sherman design Swivela. Well, this thing had to be installed properly on here.
Oh.
And it moves with your leg. It's pretty cool. Actually, it's kind of neat. So ESD, Edgar Sherman Designs, one of their customer service guys, because I got another one of their products I'm reviewing, and I had a little bit of an issue with it in the initial review. And I reached out to him and was like, hey, we kind of had a problem. And he was like, hey, no worries, I'll send you another one to replace the problem. And he goes, hey, when you get the review done, will you send it to me? I want to see it. And I was like, yeah, sure. So I sent him that one. I was like, hey, I reviewed your other product. I don't know if you want to see it, but check it out.
Yeah.
And he checked it out, and he was like, yo, that's really cool. I'm going to start giving people a link to your review of that product because we get a lot of questions about the install, or people who have issues with that install. I'm going to send them to your video because you showed exactly how to install it.
Dude, I was like, there you go.
Like, cool. I was like, knock it out, man.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of cool. Hopefully it'll help them out. My wife will probably yell at me and be like, you need to give them to like give you a code or something. I was like, I don't care about that right now. I'm too small. Just them sending traffic my way is good enough.
Right. That's what. Yeah. Right. And that's what you'll need, because even if you have a code, no, she's not wrong. But even if you have a code, if you don't have the traffic to support it, you ain't gonna get. You're gonna get 10 cents, bro. Like
it doesn't do shit for them or me.
No, it's gonna be. So like I have the other channel I have is or one of the other channels, CNR reviews, and I do reviews on tools and all kind of different things, electronics. Okay, I did a review on my modem. That I bought because I have, I don't get the one that they supply from, my service provider for the internet. I buy my own router, my own modem. Yeah, because I want the upgraded one. I want fast speed, so consistent. I want latency more than latency is better than top speed. Okay, so
you lower your latency, you're going to be better off than having just picking speed.
Absolutely. So
latency kills.
You could have 600, megabytes a second, and your latency's fucking, 200 or whatever. Your IP, you're paying or whatever. You're shit. Okay, you're always lagging out.
My kids taught me that for gaming.
Yeah, exactly. So, for anyone that doesn't know, that's listening or watching, latency is a fancy term for the consistency of your speed. So the consistency of your signal. For your internet. Okay, so there's a lot of things. If you have cable internet like I do, there is a lot of there's a couple things that will draw that down, because we're sharing the source speed with everyone else out there that turns on devices in your area, right?
It affects your throughput.
Exactly. So anyway, it's so your latency is very important. That's your consistency of your signal or whatever. But anyway, so I did reviews on that. I do that kind of stuff. So if you don't have, going back to this code thing, I put all of the videos I do reviews on. I have that Amazon affiliate link, right? That a lot of people do.
I just started that. I'm getting nothing from that.
No, you won't get anything. It's you've got to get.
Hey, I just started the Amazon thing, and I'm not getting jack and shit, but I have it, so it's there.
You set it up. Now I'm going to tell you a secret, okay? So just to keep it simple for you, I think it's, unless they've changed it. I haven't looked at it in the last 3 months or so, but it's 180 days, 6 months is you have to have some kind of traffic through one of those links to keep your account active. Otherwise, it'll go dead. Then you have to resubmit and resubmit. It doesn't take a lot to resubmit, but
I made $1.
Yeah,
I made a whole $1.
Yeah, I've made probably less than $50 in 4 years on it. Okay,
it's not for me though. It's not about the money. It'd be nice.
No.
It'd be great if there was some extra little bits of money coming in from the channel. If the channel could be, I wouldn't say self-sufficient, but just little bits of money to come in that I could go, okay, cool. Well, with that little trickle of money, I'm going to go buy this pouch. Or, perfect example, I had guys in the comment section earlier this week or last week, specifically asking, hey, are you going to review the Watson Ingall? I was like, I would love to. It's on my list, but that's like a $100+ thing, and I don't know if I have a build for it yet, or I want to. I really do. I would love to have like one of every airsoft pack that's out there, just to throw on an airsoft gun. But if it's for me, I guess so. A little secret sauce for the Muddy Reviews channel. 90% of the time, what I'm reviewing is because I'm building a kit.
Yeah.
So what I'm reviewing is usually, you can kind of discern or get an idea of what I'm doing kit-wise or what I might be building by what I'm reviewing at the time. Because I build a kit and I review as I'm building. Right now, no one's going to guess what I'm building because it has no basis in reality. It's something I based on my cartooning stuff. So I'm building a kit based on that. But the whole thing is, that's kind of what I do with the channel. I build a kit and then I review everything for that kit. Everything that I'm buying for the build, every piece I review, because you're going to want to know what it is. Yeah. And then there's other shit mixed in. A lot of times there's other random stuff. There's just going to be random crap I'll pick up, or I'll see it and I'll go, oh shit, that looks kind of cool. Yeah. Like, because there's certain companies I follow pretty religiously. Like 100 Concepts is one.
Okay.
Because they like to release cool little niche items, and I always try to grab their stuff because it's something I know people are going to want to look at.
What's it called?
100 Concepts.
Okay.
They're pretty awesome. I've got some stuff of theirs coming up on the channel here in the next month or two. Yeah. That I've already got a review. And they've been really forward thinking. They've been putting out a lot of really great stuff in the past year. Like 3D printed optics covers for like kill flashes and flashlight covers and stuff like that. These guys are really cool. And I've already reviewed like 3 or 4 things from them on the channel. Yeah. So I'm always keeping an eye on them. So anytime they drop something, if I think it looks kind of cool or I think people are going to want to see it, I might just buy it. Just because even if I'm not going to necessarily use it a lot, I'll pick it up, review it, and then put it in a bin, and it'll probably go to a swap meet at D14 and get sold eventually.
I mean, that's always good, though. What you're doing is, with these, if you pick up something like that that's newer, kind of innovative and kind of cool, it's good to get, reviews done on these things because people, they love that shit, bro.
They do, and no one else is doing it.
It's helpful. It's very helpful.
Well, it's like the swiveler, that swiveler thing on my holster.
Yep.
Not a lot of people are going to be looking at that, but it's a neat product. This thing is. I just did show it again. This thing is really fucking cool. It basically solves a problem. If you run a mid-ride holster, like I love to, I ran mid-rides most of my career. And the issue you would run into was if you're going to run this big strap from Safariland, you would run it behind the plate, and it would kind of come down. So it puts the strap up in a kind of a weird position, and it's going to ride up your leg a lot. It's just going to be one of the problems. This drops the strap down just a little bit, not much, and it still stays pretty well behind the holster, as you can see. but it moves with your body movement. And there's a lot of play in this. Like you pointed out in my video, seems like there's a lot of play here, but once you get it on your leg, it's subtle. The movements are like
it moves with your leg.
Yeah, it just moves with your leg, but it's not so much movement that you're like, why is my whole? You're not shifting. It's just enough movement to give you. Yeah, holster's not moving, and the strap's not riding up your leg. This was a great idea. Like Edgar Sherman Designs knocked it out of the park. Now we'll see how it holds up over time.
Sure, but you're talking about when it when you're running around with you got that strap on your leg. You're talking about it doesn't actually go up into your crotch on the inside.
With that on there, no, it doesn't. And normally that's one of my biggest problems.
Absolutely.
I've worn gun belts my whole career. If I wasn't doing combat arms, I was doing military police. I always had a holster on. I always had a gun belt on. And I've almost always had a mid-ride or a drop leg because I was a boat guy, and that was what they always issued us. They for whatever reason, the Navy loved giving drop legs to their boat guys, and we hated them. Everyone's like, they're tactical. I'm like, they fucking suck. So I always would take my drop leg, and I would run the drop leg strap, and I would drag it out as far as I could, and I would pull that drop leg up to about the height of a mid-ride, just to get it as high up as I could get it, where it would drop below my gear, but it's still going to be higher up my leg. But then I would run into that problem. The strap would ride up into my crotch. And I would always take, because drop legs have the two straps, I would take one strap out, and then I would run it like at an angle. So I'd run it out of like, so the standard drop leg plate, you got the 2 and 2. Right. So I'd run it out of like the top here, and then from like on the back side, I'd run out the top, and then at an angle down and come out the bottom. Okay. That makes sense? Like at a 45. Right. And I would run the one strap that way. It was kind of awkward, but it was awkward looking, but it worked really well. It was basically a really, really ghetto rigged version of doing this.
Right.
And then when I could, I would just get one of these and run that. But until like whatever department I was attached to at the time would be like, you can't do that anymore. And I'd be like, you suck.
So drop leg holsters. So I never used one in a working environment like that. I always used it here in the backyard, or around my property or whatever, where I wasn't doing a whole lot of running around. I love I can't say I love drop leg holsters because I had the same issues. Right, they don't stay in the right position. The straps don't stay in the right position. Okay, but if I have to choose, if I had a good choice or a good option of having the pistol right here at the perfect height where my hand goes when I go to reach for it,
where your hand drops right on top of it.
That's where I want it, is on the side of my thigh. But there's no good options for it, so I hate having to reach way up like this to grab the freaking pistol grip to pull, and then you got to pull up higher to get it out of your freaking holster. I hate that shit, bro.
Let's stand up, so I'll show you. That's where this mid ride is fantastic. So if you notice, the mid ride doesn't.
Okay, so it's not way up. It's not real high.
Yeah, it's not real high. It's not like up here. Right. It's not all the way down here. It's like at this nice.
So you don't have to reach up as far.
No, and it kind of cants out a little bit.
Okay.
So it's a clean, leg strap on. It's a nice clean draw.
If you had the strap on.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of mid rides. They clear your kit.
Yep.
And they're really nice.
That is nice. Okay. Yeah, I've never seen that. Honestly, I've never. Not that I know of.
Well, a lot of police agencies call them jacket drops.
Oh, okay.
And they'll sit like just below the jacket line.
Yep.
But mid ride is like for me it's always been like the chef's kiss, like the perfect middle ground, and they were great holsters. The best mid ride I've been using for a while has been the True North Concepts mid ride. It's like an aluminum bracket, so there's like no flex in that thing at all. It's pretty fantastic.
Really?
Yeah. It's made of aluminum, and it's got like 20 different maybe even more. But it's all these different holes in it, so you can cant. So with the Safari Land, keep bringing this thing out. With the Safari Land, I can cant the holster.
Okay.
On the plate
to make it easier to grab the grip.
Yeah. But as you can see, it's not straight up and down. It's canted forward. But I can't cant the mounting plate.
Right.
So that's it. It's straight up and down.
Yeah.
When I'm running the True North Concepts, what makes that thing so awesome is I can cant this. I can move this plate like that, or like that, or like this, or bring it back. And I have a really, really torn up shoulder. So with it, that's why I cant my pistol the way I do. It helps to give me a smoother draw for my shoulder.
Right.
So I'm not giving myself as much shoulder tweaking as I can.
Yeah.
And with the True North Concept, with that True North Concept ride, I have the QLS plate canted just a little more. So my grip is like this.
Gotcha.
So I can get my holster. It's so much better. Like this isn't bad.
Your shoulder getting it out.
Yeah, not as bad. I can get like if I could stay and watch all day long like that, and then I could get a full day airsofting like that. But straight up and down, nope, no sir.
Right.
I could draw it like 3 or 4 times at the range, straight up and down, and I'd just be done. My shoulder would be on fire, and I'd be like, "This sucks." So
I'm looking at your Instagram right now, actually.
Okay.
So I just found the picture of your post you did of that holster there. Okay. No, this is the True North one. This is the True North. Yeah, the canted one. Yep. Oh, that's cool, dude. Let me share the screen so people can see what the hell. So this is so anyone that's watching right now, you can see the picture on his Instagram. This is the so his Instagram is muddy_reviews, or if you just search Muddy Reviews on Instagram, you'll see it. San Antonio, Texas.
I think I'm the only one.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta change that. I'm not in San Antonio anymore.
Okay.
I'm up by Dallas.
You're over by Dallas? Okay, you're DW.
Yeah, I think DFW.
DFW, yeah.
Yeah, I think me and Scott Hollenbeck swapped spots. I think he's back down south again.
Oh, did he
the
move?
U.S. Airsoft. I think so. I think he moved down south to be closer to the e-bike store.
Oh, okay, right.
I could be wrong, but a lot of his newer content seems to be all down south again.
Okay, gotcha. So anyone watching or watching this, you can see his Instagram here, and he's got this True North Concepts modular holster adapter.
That thing is awesome.
That's cool, man. Yeah, these are the things that people that get into airsoft have no clue about until they go to their first mil sim. Because if you go to a one-day event, you're probably not going to know, like especially a pistol holster, you're not going to know, like, you might not even have to draw your pistol, right? But you go to a mil sim.
Half the time you don't need one.
Yeah, half the time you don't need one. You go to a mil sim, you're probably going to need it, and you're probably going to use it. And even if you don't use it, even if you don't actually draw it, you're going to be running around way more, like for 2.5 days, and night, and in different positions, more so than you would on a day, open play or whatever.
Yep, and that QLS. So this QLS adapter is a fucking money. I love this thing. One, the QLS forks are amazing for Safari Lands.
Yeah.
They make adapters so you can run these on other model holsters too, so you're not just slaved to the Safari Land. But what I love about these things is the fact that you could have one belt setup, one holster setup, one platform, and you could have 15 different holsters and 15 different pistols and just switch them in and out.
Ooh,
but also, if you don't want to take... It is. But if you don't want to take your full belt line off and you have a moment of rest or whatever, you could just pop your holster off and just kind of set it next to you for a second. Keep it within arm's reach, but you could, for just a quick break.
Yeah.
Reprieve. I used to love pop. Well, never mind. I'm not gonna repeat that story. Sometimes you might take these off.
You already started, bro. You got to say it now, okay?
Well, you may or may not take these off occasionally at certain locations and places when you probably shouldn't. Just to kind of get a quick break, pop it off, set it down, and then put it back on. You're not supposed to do that. But
At a
That's
mill
probably
sim?
why. No, I'm talking about it.
Oh, in the military. Yeah. Don't tell that story.
You may or may not be on your boat. Just be
shit.
like, this chair is too tight. Take this off and set it down for a second.
Oh shit.
Well, it's just you on the boat. You're fine. It's tethered to you by a fucking lanyard.
Yeah.
But it was great because if I needed to pop it off the bracket, like I could, and I could do whatever I'm doing to it, or maneuver around, get hung up on something, because they would get hung up on shit.
Yeah.
And there you are, like, you're stuck in your seat. You're like, this is bullshit. Now you're fighting with your lanyard. You can just unplug it, get up, and then stick it back on. It was fantastic. Because then you're not taking your shit off.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, people may or may not have done that. Just take their full gun belts off. I don't know. I can't confirm that.
What?
Nobody does that. They're all professionals.
They're all professionals, bro. They follow the military rule to the letter.
To the letter. But it is convenient though to be able to swap. Like you could have.
It's really convenient
because that's a Glock. It's a Glock 17 airsoft gun.
Right.
Just a simple old Glock with a light. But I could have another holster set up with just a Glock with no light.
Sure.
I could have a SIG. I could have a Beretta. I could have 15 different, like 5 or 6 different pistols, whatever my flavor was. Yeah. I could have one belt. And I just.
Well, listen, the thing is, too, is that people don't realize, and if somebody's new into Airsoft and just now listening to this, you might think, what? Why would I ever need to swap that out? Okay, so there, especially in Airsoft, all right, no other sport has this. Even in the military, you don't really have this, okay? Like in the general pop, whatever you call it, it's, but Airsoft, you will have this because they have themed events. So you have, like, if you want to do the one that Swamp Sniper puts on, all right, Battle Hack, they've got the what is it, the Old West? Okay, so they got something like that. They've got freaking zombie ones. They've got, all these different LARP events. If you want to get into LARP events that are kind of, what do you call them, era specific, what, like if they do a Vietnam event and you have to be time period specific, is that what it is?
Yep.
Then those kind of things come in real handy, where let's say you can't have a modern day gun on your waist. You can have one of the older pistols or something like a 1911, some shit like that.
Or, forgot I have this behind me.
Yeah, dude, this is great. Well, you're the guy to talk to when it comes to all this stuff, because this is what you do, man.
That's what I do.
You don't just do the reviews on these random stuff. You actually use this stuff, so your insight is really valuable.
I use some of it. So this is the other belt. This is the other belt line I had built up.
Okay.
And it's fantastic because now I'm a freaking gear queer, so I'll build up multiple belts just because. Mm-hmm. I'll be like, well, I need a Ranger Green belt now because I'm building a Ranger Green kit. Can't have multicam. But what's cool is, if that's not what you're doing, if that's just not your world or your flavor, you can build one really nice, really good belt line, and then all you need to do is just switch your holsters out. So now you can have 3 or 4 different pistols. Now you're not stuck with the one pistol. Because this is a pain in the ass to swap in and out, taking these off.
Sure.
But what I like about this belt and this setup too is what I did with the True North is, and I could do this with a Safariland too if I was really inclined, is I can switch it out with the Blade Tech system. Now you can pop it off. So I can run this on a different belt. It just literally
is wild, bro. It just snaps in.
Yeah. So you bring it up.
Is it like a clip? Okay.
Basically, it's like a clip. Line it up, click it in, and now I'm good to go.
How do you get it off? What's the? Is it on the bottom?
I reversed it. I'm an idiot.
That's all right.
I put it on backwards because we were talking.
Show how to open it. I'm trying to figure out where the clip thing is.
So you got this little clip right here
in the middle. Okay.
And I got to get it to do it right. Hold on, I am backwards handed, so.
Yeah, go ahead. You can do it normal now. We can see it now.
There we go. Okay. So right here, you push forward and unclips
Oh,
then you
it unclips.
squeeze,
Okay.
and it comes up.
Damn, that's nice. It's like a double clip system.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And then I put Velcro, some adhesive Velcro on it,
Mm-hmm.
loop and hook, so it'll marry to the belt.
Look at you.
Using get it to the spot I want it.
Too.
Get it to the spot I want it.
Yeah.
Make sure it meets up, gets all nice and clean and beautiful. Clips in. And then just release it. And then now when I have the belt pad, because I put the hook there,
yeah,
I can just bring it over and it kind of keeps it all together.
Bro, that's nice.
It's nice. But this is how you run one belt and like 5 different pistols. Exactly. And if you do like 3-gun shooting and airsoft, you can use the same belt for like 3-gun, airsoft, whatever you want, and you can run your toys and your real guns all on just one platform. So now you're getting some training out of it as well as BB wearing. And little plug for AWS. This is a fantastic belt.
Really?
This is the AWS lab belt. Love this belt.
Okay.
I almost bought just another one of these for the new belt I'm working on, but I decided to get a GVRS group belt because I didn't have one yet for the channel. That's the other thin line I have to like walk sometimes, because I want to start building a new kit and I'm just like, oh man, I really like that already that I've done for the channel, but I want to get something new to review. So I'm like, fuck. Yep. I guess I'm building something completely new.
Right.
And it's going to either suck or it's going to be good. Like on my vest felt, but like this Pharaoh Concepts abomination back. I still don't know how I feel about it, because I wanted another V5 for Pharaoh Concepts because I really like it, but I've already reviewed it for the channel. I was like, I'll just get another one in Ranger Green. But I needed to review something new. So I got the thing in between, the Slickster and the V5, to review that, and I still don't know if I like it. So I'll probably still get a V5.
It looks cool from
no, it's cool. It's cool. I gotta get out there and use it. I gotta test it. I just got injections in my foot yesterday, finally, so I'm really excited. I can actually get out and play soon.
What do they do? Cortisone?
Yeah, I got them on both my feet. My feet have been so bad, bro. Since
really?
Yeah, they got really bad. I went and played in March.
Yeah.
Up at Zulu
24.
Yeah, Zulu 24. Yeah. No, not Zulu 24.
That's in New York.
Yeah, that's in New York. That was a field up by near Connecticut. No, it was I can't remember the name of the fucking field, but it was here in it was in Waxahachie, Texas. Great, it was a good field, amazing field, but I had not the best time because I just could barely move. My feet were so bad.
Were they swollen?
My buddy, swollen.
Did you injure him in the military?
Yeah, I injured both of them severely. I've torn every tendon in my right foot like 4 different times.
Damn.
And then and then so I've got these like ATL tears and shit that are acting up again, and then I got like severe plantar fasciitis in both my feet, and then I got another tendon issue in the right foot, and they had to give me injections finally, which they were supposed to do before I even left active duty, but they drug their feet on it. So the VA finally got it done.
Bro.
So I'm super, super excited. I can actually like walk right now with like no real major pain. I got to the point where I couldn't even go for like a half a mile walk.
Yeah.
Like for just like exercise. Like I've been in like only thing I could really do was dick around the house.
Yeah.
Or do like do like drills in the yard.
Yeah.
I couldn't go out for like a full day of play. Did my camera just freeze?
Just a little bit, yeah. Oh, yeah, yep.
Yeah,
it's frozen.
Yeah, I'm frozen up. Oh, there we go. I'm back. Okay.
Yeah. So, do you have?
I couldn't do any of that.
Do you have a yard?
Bad.
Do you have grass?
I've got about 2 acres.
Oh, good. Go grounding, bro.
I do. I get out there and get my feet in the ground.
Go barefoot in your yard.
Yep.
And stand there for 10 minutes a day or whatever, at least. Yeah, good.
Yeah, I get out there a lot and just walk around.
Okay.
So that's the one thing is good. I get a lot of testing done because of the gear. My son does a lot of it, but because at least I have the 2 acres so I can get out there and test everything in, and we have like a 1.5 mile dirt road. We walk up and down. We do we hump the gear in and stuff. So we get out. We test a lot of the gear as much as we can and beat it up. But I just can't get out and play the way I used to.
Well,
but I can
running
now.
On rough terrain, man. Yeah.
Oh, it's bad. Oh,
if your
so
feet
bad.
are messed up, so you have the pain. I have the opposite issue. I have no feeling in my feet. So, which means I can't keep my balance, like on uneven ground. People. I mean,
feel you.
Nobody. I never thought of it. But like, the ball. There is so much that goes on with this stuff. When you're walking and your feet,
you can't feel the terrain.
You never even think of it. And I'll be.
Yeah,
and the thing is,
to here, you're screwed.
Yeah, and so I don't feel it, and so I'm going, whoa! I'm like tilting, and then I won't feel that I'm tilting until my equilibrium says I'm tilting, right? Because I don't feel it in my feet, and so I'm like, whoa! And then I have to catch my balance. It looks like I'm drunk all the time, and I'm not. And I'm like, it's a weird. I've had to get used to it over the last couple of years, and so anyway, uneven terrain puts a lot of stress on your feet, like you don't even realize. So if you've got pain, you'll feel it right away trying to walk on an even terrain. You probably do get around better on flat surfaces if you have something soft on your feet to walk on. But dude, that's crazy.
I had a custom. They got me custom orthopedics my last 6 months in, which was helping. But I would get out and I would play every chance I got, but man, it was just torture. Yeah. And I had to kind of back off and just find other ways to test the gear and beat it up other ways, but I couldn't get out and just play like I normally would. And that's another thing that's been hindering me with the channel the way I want to, the things I want to do with the channel.
You can't truly test it like you normally did.
Yeah, it sucks. So it's only been the last 6 months, but it just blows because it's I can give you my impressions. I can tell you, okay, this is a good piece of kit. The kit works in theory.
Yeah.
And that's why usually a lot of times you'll hear me say in my reviews, it's good, but we're going to see how well it holds up over time because we're going to have to get out and beat the shit out of it.
Well, not only that, but it's probably discouraging for you when not only you're in pain, but also you can't go do the thing that you really love to do and test that gear out that you like doing. On the field.
Massively discouraging.
So it's discouraging. Yeah, dude, for real.
But it's cool because I do, like I said, I've got the space here to kind of just dick around, and then I've got
so nice.
I am literally 20 minutes or less from D14.
Oh shit!
It is right down. Yeah, it is right down the road from me.
Oh, that's crazy.
So I'm super close. I really wanted to try to go out there tomorrow. Where were you the last time?
Were you in San Antonio the last time I talked to you?
Yeah, I was in San Antonio at the time.
Okay. Yeah.
I really wanted to go tomorrow because I know Mark is supposed to be out there.
Okay.
But I don't think it's going to happen because I got to get. I think I get another day.
Anyone that does.
Yeah, the Airsoft Primate.
Yeah. Okay.
Because he said the last time we did I jumped in on the little live. He was talking about going, but I don't think I'll be able to make it. But I'm hoping to get out there this rest of this fall. Now that they gave me the cortisol injections and I can walk, better and actually move, I'll be out there a lot more. Man. So I'm pretty excited to become a regular.
When they give you a shot,
3 to 4 months.
Okay,
right about.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, no, and I'm locked in with them now, so I just go in and be like, "Hey, I need another one." And they're tuning me up, so it's kind of cool. I don't have to jump through any hoops.
Good.
Yeah, I'm 100%, so I'm category 1 now. I can get everything I need. I don't have to wait for any bullshit. I don't have to jump through hoops. But it's kind of nice.
Yeah, that is nice. It takes a lot different. Getting there. It just, yeah.
Because I still have this thing. I gotta get this stupid thing out there and run it through its paces for the finish of the review.
Yeah, what is it?
This little Humorex MP5 competition.
MP5.
So I did the initial
or a gas blowback.
It's AEG. It's a cheap AEG. It's the $200 one. You know,
Oh yeah,
I
you showed
purposely
this
bought the cheap
on
one.
the live, didn't
Yeah, I
you?
showed it on the live.
Yeah, yeah.
It did.
Oh, let me
But
see
I
it
got to
again.
get this out there. I got to
Dude,
get
it
this
looks
bad boy
awesome
out
though.
there, and I
Do
got
you
to test
know?
it.
So
And
I think
we're finished testing it.
the first movie I saw that one on, that's set up really similar. I'm gonna have to look this up.
Was it Navy
Navy
Seals?
Seals. Yeah.
Yeah.
Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen.
Wasn't it
Hawkins.
Bill Paxton? Wasn't Bill Paxton
Yep.
God?
God. Yep. Bill Paxton.
He was the sniper with the 50 cal.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Hawkins and
Dude,
it had
classic movie.
what is his name?
Is it the guy that played in?
He's the chief. The guy who played in the unit.
The unit. Yeah.
Damn.
Okay, hold on.
What is his
name?
Look it up. Starts with an H. His last name. He was in like the State Farm commercials, not State Farm, Allstate commercials.
Allstate commercials. The really deep voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He played. Dude. Yeah, he played Billy the Chief.
He looks. I'll tell you, man. My senior drill instructor in boot camp looked just like that guy.
Really?
And sounded just like him.
I think Mark Haysbert, I think his name.
Okay, I'm looking right now. I got it on. Wait a minute. Where's this?
Johnny Ringo from Tombstone.
Johnny Ringo, baby.
He was their boss. He was the LT.
All right, I'm gonna pull up
no Daisy at all.
We're gonna pull all this shit up. Okay.
Hell
Charlie
yeah!
Sheen, Michael Biehn is a Terminator guy, yeah. Right.
Yeah. Michael Biehn.
Terminator. Yeah.
He was Johnny Ringo.
Yeah. Oh, I know, right? Dude, that was so good. Yeah, here we go.
It's not what you love her.
Navy Seals.
I love that movie.
Oh, it's fucking awesome. When did this come out?
Navy Seals was so good. It was like 82, I think.
Doesn't it say on here? Let's see.
Yeah, I want to say it was 82.
1990. 1990.
90?
It is. Yeah, bro, 1990.
Almost
2 hours long.
What was 82? What came out 82?
There was a bunch of good Delta Force that came out. Yeah, Delta Force was a classic as well. That had the older guy. That was earlier. Yeah, that had
Chuck Norris.
Holy shit! I didn't know Gary Oldman. Oh no, never mind. That's not him. Okay. Let's look at the cast here. Charlie Sheen, Michael Biehn. I don't know who that is.
So on the interesting fact. So on the movie poster, those guys parachuting into the water. Those were Spanish SEALs. Yeah. And like the guys who do the airborne jump into the water and the submarine lockout, those aren't American guys. Those are actually Spanish UOE-2.
Why?
Or what became the Spanish FG&E, the Spanish SEAL team.
Really?
Yeah.
Why'd they gank that shit from them?
I guess they helped film it. They let them film them jumping. And a lot of the scenes that were supposed to be like Beirut in the Middle East, they were Cartagena, Spain.
Oh shit! Okay.
Because Cartagena, Spain is where the Spanish SEAL teams, one of their main HQs is at.
Yeah.
I learned that when I was living in Spain. I thought that was kind of cool.
Oh, that's cool.
When I got into the FG&E kit and doing the Airsoft kit for the Spanish SEALs, a lot of my Spanish buddies they're like, you know that movie Navy SEALs? Guess what? That was our guys jumping out of the plane. They were like so proud of it. I was like,
okay. I mean, they should be proud. Come on, that was
It should be, yeah. I was like,
yeah, absolutely.
I was like,
it's a great American film. Okay. Well, the other thing too is these, people from other countries, man, they know the American film industry and they know the American military, history or whatever, and it's like they want to be, part of that. Like it's iconic, is the film industry.
Yeah. Oh, sorry to cut you off. You were saying.
No, go ahead. I'm
rambling,
bro.
No, you're good. The golf course scene.
Yes.
That was a Redbird, something golf course. I used to live right next to that golf course in Virginia Beach.
Holy shit! Okay.
Yeah. Navy housing is right by that thing.
Oh, that's funny.
I've driven on that road where he drives off his car, like off the back of the little flatbed.
Uh-huh.
I've been on that road like 100 times. That
That's
was
hilarious.
right next to him when he's driving off on the road right there. There's this little like National Guard type base. It's called Camp Pendleton.
Yeah.
And that's what he's dressed with. That's what they're driving past right there in Virginia, in Virginia Beach area.
Oh, that's funny.
It's Camp Pendleton. It's over. That's right by Oceana Naval Air Station.
They're saying it's Camp Pendleton, but yeah,
that's what it's called. It's called Camp Pendleton. It's not the same Camp Pendleton as California. It's literally like a little National Guard thing called Camp Pendleton right there.
What?
It's in Virginia. Yeah.
Fuck those guys. Right, they can't steal the name. We got our own. I don't know, man.
I know. I don't know.
That's hilarious. Okay.
The 160th used to fly into there all the time. That's where they would park their helos when they were working with Dev Group.
Oh,
shit. Dev Group's compound was on the back side of housing.
Right.
They shared a fence with it. It was crazy. We'd be sitting there chilling at night, hanging out, and all of a sudden you hear like a helo fly over, like right above your roof, and they're blacked out. And you're like, oh, Dev Group's doing some training. And then sure enough, they'd fly into the compound, pick them up, and fly out over to the ocean and do some shit.
Dude, when those bigger like cool. Military choppers, when they come, when they're real close, when they're flying real low, you can feel that. Like you can feel it in your chest.
Hell yeah, you can.
What is it like bass, right? It's like it's super deep, and you can just feel it. It is. It's like thumps your chest.
Hell yeah, it does.
Hell yeah.
That shit's crazy.
It's a cool feeling.
It is. I miss it. Virginia Beach was a vibe. That was a cool place to live and a cool place to play airsoft and just a cool place to be. The whole vibe of that town was neat because you've got the SEAL teams at Little Creek.
Yeah,
then you've got development group at Dam Neck doing their thing. So you got like the tier 1 guys doing their little tier 1 stuff.
Yeah.
You got SWIC at Little Creek, and that's where Riverine Squadron was. We were at Little Creek. Yeah. And then you got EOD over at Little Creek, and then you got all the regular squids over at NOB at Norfolk doing their squiddy things. And then you had Air Force just across the way at Hampton at Langley, right in Hampton Roads. It was just a neat place to be, like a ton of military. And then if you wanted like a fun airsofting experience, it was great because you had Ballahack. And then you had a bunch of amazing tactical stores. If you're a gear dork, man, Virginia Beach, off the hook.
No shit.
It had, London Bridge Trading is there.
Holy shit!
Eagle
all this.
Yeah, Eagle Industries is there.
Okay.
And like LBT has like they're where they make all the gear. They have like a little like shop at the same place where they sew everything.
Yeah.
So you can just go in there and buy shit. And their little pro shop is cool as fuck because they always had like weird little odds and ends in there and little like one-offs and Eagle Industries was out there, LBT was out there, S&S Precision's out there, or at least they were. Blackhawk was out there for a while before they moved, and then you had like 2 or 3 like some of the bigger names in like tactical gear stores got their start there. Like GSS was out there. That was like their flagship store, and then they moved to Florida. I guess to support AFSOC, and they don't do anything out there. And you got like my homeboy's store, Off Base Supply Co. Like little plug for him. Big ups to Eric. He's got a badass store out there,
and that's out there in Virginia Beach.
Oh yeah. I buy a ton of shit from him because he always has stuff in stock, and he's just got a great rapport with all these companies now. So my dude's always got what I need, so it's kind of great. I'm always like, yo, I need to order this. You got it? And he's like, yep. It's like, boom, thank you. So it's pretty nice. It's nice like having that in, but that's why every chance I get, I'm just like, hey, I bought this at this store.
Right. Oh, for
sure. I don't have like an affiliation with him, but I rep him because that's my homeboy.
Yeah.
And he's just got a fantastic shop.
What's the name of his shop?
It's called Off Base Supply Co.
I'm actually pulling up the
pull up his page, man.
Yeah, I want to.
It's fantastic.
And I want to show where it's at, and then we'll pull up his page too. Let me get this.
And he's got a brick and mortar store that is phenomenal, and he's got a fantastic website. And the best thing about him is he's got live inventory. If it says it's in stock, he has it. There's none of that like nice. You go to get it. Yeah,
that's nice.
Nope. He's got good
So I
relationships with
see
like all these major vendors. It's pretty good.
Battlehack
So
Tactical. Here, let me share the
I've
screen.
never been there. That I've never been
Okay.
to Battlehack Tactical. They opened
Yeah.
those stores up after I moved.
Okay.
But yeah, they got their little stores now. And
So we've
I
got. You
remember
see
I
the
was
screen there?
not yet. It just says
Oh,
watch
okay.
stream.
Yeah.
But
Click on
yeah,
it.
click
Tidewater
on it.
Tactical
Eric.
Off Base
Yeah.
Supply.
Yeah, Tidewater's a good shop too, man. Tidewater Tactical. That place was fun. Yeah, they always had cool stuff. They always had that great little shop. Actually, cool story about those dudes at Tidewater.
Yeah.
They hooked me up, man. So I used to go in there all the time because they were right near the base.
Yeah.
And I popped in when they were at a different location, and they had the Rocky S2V boots, and they had them in like like wasn't Coyote Brown? It was another color called like Mojave. That
Okay.
it was closer to the Marine Corps Coyote, not the new,
Okay.
not the. And I was like, "Oh shit, you got the new boots in the Mojave, whatever." I was like, "Oh, those are badass." And the guy said, "What size do you wear?" I was like, 10. He's like, "These are a 10." He goes, "We don't know if we're going to carry these yet." He goes, "You want them?" I was like, how much?" He's like, "Just take them. Let us
What?
know if well, because he's like they changed some stuff between the issued boots that you're wearing now, the tan
Right.
ones, and these. He's like, take them, go run around, because he knew what unit I was in. He's like, go beat the shit out of these things on the boat and let us know if
Yeah.
they're worth a shit, if they're worth carrying. So I took him and I beat the living fuck out of him. Came back and was like, they're holding up great. And he's like, cool, we're gonna order them then. Cool. I was like, want these back? He's like, nah, man, they're yours. Have fun.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
it gave me a pair of demo boots for free.
What?
I wore those boots until I was wearing those boots still here in San Antonio until they finally died. Those boots lasted like 11 years.
That's awesome, dude.
Fantastic. But
All right, where's
Tidewater, good guys. Off Base Supply Co. That's my homie right there.
That's your homie right here. Okay, we're gonna go in on this one.
And he's gonna be growing. Like they used to be called Double Tap Surplus, and now they're called Off Base.
Okay.
He has got a fantastic brick and mortar, fantastic like website. I love ordering from them, and they ship quick too. Like really? I get my stuff really fast from them. So, like most of my big label stuff, anything that's like big name, like Faro Concepts, a lot of times if they have it, Axel. If it's not Repro, I probably bought it from him.
Yeah,
that's just my go-to. I go to him. I go to his site first. I look at them, and then if I can't find it there for any reason, then I start to trickle out from there. And I have my other like trusted sites, but it's mostly him. I do like 95% of my business through Off Base now. I kind of quit going to other shops just because he has he almost always has it.
Yeah,
and he's got a really big like selection of stuff.
Yeah,
like. You see all the vendors he's like reps now. It's pretty fantastic. Like I remember when he started out of his living room.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
So like he's just blown up. Like it's just great to see. It's great to see somebody just continue to grow and
to
just
work at it and then
to grow and thrive and just work and get better.
All right, let me see if he has his all right, so his website. So what he needs to do is
is the website not on there?
So now this is here we go.
Yeah, there it is.
Okay,
good, should be on there.
Okay, I was gonna say
usually
get
it's
it
at the very top.
Maps.
Yeah, there it is.
Right, it's usually at the top. Right, he needs to contact
nice website.
He can email them and they can add that button up there. Okay.
I'll talk to him like, yo, man, you need to change
tell
that.
him to do that. That'd be good because, you want to make it as easy to find as possible. Man, this is cool. Okay.
It's a great site. He's got a lot of great like his clearance stuff is really cool. He's got some neat stuff in there, like stuff he bought out. Like he bought like a huge Massif suite. Did you see all that Massif stuff? Like he got it all, and like so he's selling it. He got his hands on it because it was stuff that Massif had to get rid of. And like he was able to get his hands on it because it was in multicam and not OCP.
Yeah, this is similar to what we saw at one of the mill sims. They had somebody had a trailer set up that they were selling camis out of, and all the different like real popular type of camos, and they were $250, $350, for pants.
Yeah,
and
you look at these.
So he's got Yeah. See, this is.
Yeah.
Look at that.
If you look at these Massif tops, these things are amazing. These Massif field shirts.
Yeah.
And they're like $75. And
dude,
they were $250. That's a fucking steal. Like, and those things are amazing because they're probably all FR because Massif makes mostly fire resistant stuff. Like, I'm gonna pull the trigger on one of those field shirts. I just gotta like make the decision on, well, do I want to get an extra large or do I want to continue to try to not be such a fat fuck and lose a little more weight so I can get a large.
Let me give you some advice, bro. Okay, get the size that you need right now because you'll get use out of it. I understand.
I know. The same shit.
Look, tomorrow we're going to start our diet and we're going to start our nutrition plan. We're going to start our workout plan. Okay, me and you, we're going to do it, and in a month we're going to cut. Okay, we're going to be cutting.
I got a gym membership finally. We finally found a gym that has a pool. That was one of the big things holding us back. So I got the cortisol injections. I got the gym.
Oh shit! Baby. You're ready to go, bro. You're ready to go.
I'm stoked, man, because we lost everything. We lost the gym access when we lost the base.
Sure.
It was just like starting over, and it was just like, this fucking sucks. But we found a good gym. It's got the sled that I needed. That's like the big thing I need for like my hip rehabilitation.
Right.
And then it's got a pool, so I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm in, baby.
Now I'm
going to get a little less fat.
So look at this one.
He's a big guy though. Yeah, so that's a cool holster. That concealment holster, that's not bad.
I was going to say, is this Safari Land? Is that a decent?
Yeah, that's a great holster
for $30, man. That's not bad. Look at this.
Not at all. And usually it says Glock 20 and 21. 90% of the time, you could probably get a 17 in there.
Gotcha.
I had good luck getting like weird sized Glocks and other holster sizes. And it's a lefty. I'm a lefty. I was like, that's cool. I want it.
Okay.
I got to get on his ass though and be like, yo, man, you need more left-handed holsters, bro. Because I want to get a fancy Safari Land from him, but he doesn't have any lefties.
No, we don't want lefty stuff, okay?
Listen, if you're not left, you're not right. That's how it is. No, but if you go like, the next thing I like. So if you go to brands, this is kind of cool. If you go to like up there on go to brands at the very top, next to shop, click on that. I like how he has this broken out. Top selling first.
Oh, that's
so these are like the main top selling brands, but then from there it's all alphabetized. So you just scroll through it, whatever you're looking for. But this is everybody he carries.
Whoa, dude! I just saw these guys. Their post. You know, they're headquartered in Israel.
Israel, yeah.
They're right by Gaza.
Most of those guys are in the IDF
right now. Yeah,
yeah. Most of the Agile guys are in combat right now.
They're literally legit in combat, and they put out a post today. Was it on Instagram? I saw it. Anyway, they put out a post today. It was on Instagram. They posted about it, saying, "Hey, look, we are," and they confirmed the beheadings and the just crazy slaughter of women and children by Hamas. Okay, and they're like, "Hey, we are right by Gaza. This is where we're headquartered. If we're trying to protect all this and our families. We are basically they're on the front line, and they're like, hey, if we don't, if our shipping times are late, please understand.
Understand why? Yeah,
yeah, dude.
I got an email from them for the same thing because I was trying to get in on their T&E program. Like their training and evaluation program to get T&E gear
to
and stuff.
Products to reviews and stuff,
or just T&E, like if they have like try stuff out, or just do like what's the word? Even just like surveys, whatever. Mm-hmm. And so I've made it to round 2 of their T&E process, and then this started. So I don't know if it's gonna go through, but it might. You never know.
Yeah, that's wild. Okay,
what's cool about them is one of the things they ask you is like, do you airsoft or are you an airsofter? You know, they don't just look at are you in the military or ex-military.
Okay.
Yeah, they really they're open to that.
Good, because a lot of these companies should be, because
you would think
it's a big thing, man. Like they're missing out if they don't.
I've had some people kind of not give me shit per se, but have been like, bro, why do you review replica stuff on your channel and real stuff? I was like, well, because not everybody can afford real shit.
Yeah.
And sometimes, in all honesty, there's going to be times where I might choose to go the replica route simply so the real shit's available to the guys who need it.
Yeah.
Because I don't need it all the time. I'm not going to need necessarily a real thing, because I can very much remember a period when there was lulls in supply chain issues with some of the special forces guys in the mid aughts, because it was literally because of like gear queers buying shit up at like triple the markup, because guys were like stealing it from the supply chain and selling it.
Okay.
And so operators were having shortfalls because they were having issues with getting stuff made, and then stuff wasn't passing QC, and then there was also stuff just disappearing from the supply chain because they could sell it on eBay for $10,000 or some doctor in Hong Kong.
That's freaking crazy.
So there was there was guys deploying, and maybe there was periods where units were ripping in and out and sharing jackets. Like, hey, we don't have enough of these in AOR2, so you got to give that jacket to the guys coming in.
That's
stuff like
insane,
that.
Bro.
I mean, it wasn't for very long, but it does.
Yeah, sure.
Happen.
Though, still.
So do I need this pouch maybe in a real one, or could I get away with a replica? So that's kind of why I do both, and also because, quite honestly, I have a 16, almost 17-year-old son in there. He can't afford a lot of the real shit all the time. Excuse me. But he can afford the fake shit. So I want to know if the fake stuff's worth it. So that's kind of why I do that. I do that for the younger airsoft player who wants to look Gucci but can't quite afford the Gucci. And then also sometimes I want to know if the Gucci is okay, because then maybe you can go buy the Gucci and save the real deal for the dude who needs it, who's deploying.
I mean, dude, for somebody to ask a question like that, obviously they haven't done shit, okay? They haven't gone out and I don't understand why they're asking that. Like, either they haven't had to pay for all of their own gear, or they haven't had to work for it, or they don't do it on both sides of the spectrum. I don't know, but that's
I think some of it comes from an intellectual property issue. I think some of the guys were like, well, that's infringing on intellectual property, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you're not wrong. You're 100% correct.
What do you mean?
Well, okay, so if, perfect example, Agilite. So they've got a plate carrier, the K-19. There is a copy of the K-19 plate carrier now on AliExpress.
Okay.
So if I don't buy the K-19 and I buy the copy from AliExpress, Agilite's losing money.
Okay. But
that's their intellectual property. Like, they created the K-19. But the thing is
it called? So what is
it's got some other random name. I forgot what it's called.
So they're not stealing the Agilite brand.
No, they're not. They're just copying the design. I mean, they know what it is. Like, you know what it is. Like, perfect example. Here we go. This is a good one.
Aren't they all that look the same? Like, dude,
a lot of them.
Tactical gear can't be that different.
The Onward Research chest rig that Garand Thumb came out with. If you go on AliExpress, you just look up GT chest rig. So Garand Thumb chest rig. So you just GT and chest rig, and you'll find an exact copy of his Onward Research chest rig. I don't know how good it is, but the funny part about it is people will complain about that all day long. They're like, well, that's stupid. It's like, well, sure, you're not wrong, but good luck going to Garand Thumb's website and getting a chest rig.
They're probably sold out all the time right now.
Yeah, they're always sold out. Yeah. And they don't have them in stock a lot of times in the colors you might want. So and I think I talked about this on the last podcast. That market is not for us. It's not for you, and it's not for me.
No.
That market is for. It's supposed to be for the kid in Hong Kong and the kid in Japan and the kid in Korea that can't get a lot of this stuff, or not supposed to get a lot of this stuff, because a lot of this stuff is supposed to be export restricted. It's supposed to be ITAR. So these ITAR items, if we are going to restrict the export of these items, then they're going to get copied by a sweatshop in China. They're going to get made available because there's a want for them in the airsoft market.
There's been going on for how many years?
Man. It's a catch-20. And I know that. Like, and then EOTechs. That's another one. Everyone's like, oh, why would you want a fake EOTech? Because I don't want to have a $500 EOTech get destroyed.
Yeah, no shit.
Funny thing is, though, I play with a real EOTech all the time.
How dare you?
No. I finally put a piece. I finally put a piece of Lexan on it.
Oh, there you go.
I've been playing with that thing since 2007.
Holy shit!
It has never been shot out.
That's crazy. Okay.
I finally put some homemade Lexan on it because I was like getting kind of worried. I was like, ugh, maybe I don't want. Yeah. I don't want to get this thing destroyed.
I mean, it's the statistics, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm willing to buy a fake EOTech versus a real one because I'm not going to put it on a real gun. That is one of my biggest comments I get on almost every repro optic I review. How does it hold up to recoil? Can you put it on a real gun? And I'm always like, I don't know. I've never put it on a real gun. I put it on toys. Oh, okay. I'm like, guys, if you want to put this on a real gun,
well,
go buy a real EOTech.
So I guess
you will be happy.
I do understand. Okay, so your YouTube channel is not labeled as Airsoft, right?
Not really. It's just gear. It's mostly Airsoft gear.
Right. But there's not Airsoft in the name. There's not Airsoft in the description. So I guess I think I mentioned
that I play Airsoft.
Oh yeah, it is in the description. Okay.
Yeah. I think I put it in there.
Yeah, it's in there. But so I guess on first notice, when people are scrolling through, most people don't go to the About page on YouTube.
They don't.
Unless you're, most just viewers don't go to the About page. Content creators will.
Wishful thinking. Most of it's wishful thinking. They're hoping, oh God, I saw an optic and it was cheap. Maybe it'll work on my real gun.
Yeah, it's true.
It won't. Like, I've got this guy. This hasn't hit the channel yet. I got this. I'm assuming Impact is the name of the company who makes it. I don't know. I can't find out. I got it at a swap meet.
Okay.
Brand new, still in the package. If I showed this to you, you would not know that it was not real.
Oh shit! Oh, it's got EOTech on it.
It's trademarked. Shit. But here's what's kind of nice. The glass is pretty good. If I didn't have a big light behind me, there would not be a lot of reflection in there.
Huh.
It's got a pretty clean glass. There's no battery in it, but where you know right away, if I had a battery in it and the reticle on, if I move it farther from you, the reticle would get smaller. If I move it closer to you, the reticle would get so big it would fill the entire window almost.
Okay.
A real EOTech won't do that. So that's one of the dead giveaways. But it feels really good.
Real EOTech, explain the difference now. Real EOTech will do what now? It won't get smaller or bigger?
Real EOTech, that reticle will stay the same. What's the word for it? Parallax and something else, yada yada. I'm gonna fuck that all up. But a real EOTech, the reticle is gonna stay the same size, and no matter where you are looking and moving, it's gonna hold. It's gonna be the same. It's gonna stay on the target. With these fake ones, what's gonna happen is you're gonna get the dot inside of here. If I was to bring this close to your eye, like right up here, that reticle will become huge. It will almost fill the whole window. But then if I move it farther from you up the rifle, the reticle will get smaller. And you'll start to lose size. It distorts with your eye relief.
Perspective,
it's really weird. Yeah, and your perspective. And that's a quick, dead giveaway that it's not real.
Huh.
Like the Holy Warrior I reviewed on my channel. Fantastic EOTech. Some of the best glass I've touched on their fake EOTech was like $30 on AliExpress. The SU34 or whatever EOTech, the flat dark earth one. I love that thing. It's so much fun to use. Mm-hmm. And it has the same issue though, the growing thing. And the same with this one. But this thing looks gorgeous.
Yeah, it looks nice.
So I still have to review it for the channel. But I picked it up and it was like $60. It was dirt cheap. And the guy had it at a table. He was selling a handful of them. And I was like, I don't know where he got them, and I don't want to ask. I don't care. Even has like fake serial numbers on the bottom.
So, I mean, when you say dirt cheap, I mean, that's relative. I wouldn't spend...
$60 was dirt cheap for this thing.
I was going to say, compared to a real EOTech, yeah, it's dirt cheap. But like when I was putting scopes on my hunting rifles, way back when I first got in the military, I wouldn't have spent $60 on a scope back then.
Sure.
I mean that's me, and that's back then. Most of my buddies, we wouldn't have spent that much. It was, I went to a 6-power scope. It was real basic. It worked. Yeah. Like it got the job done.
Oh, absolutely. But in the realm of fake EOTechs, $60 is a steal. And in the realm of fake EOTechs, $60 is a steal for good back glass that I can see through in the daylight outside with a bright enough reticle.
And it has a freaking name on it. Yeah, that's wild.
If trademarks mean something to you, the name's on it. But the biggest.
Well, the other thing too is the hunting rifle scopes I had. I'm not literally running up and down through the woods where I can trip and fall and crack this thing. I'm not doing that when you're hunting. Like it's not the same comparison. So I do understand that. Anyone that is thinking so.
One of the biggest things I see on Amazon reviews, and I just laugh, is like AK Fire is a company that makes a lot of fake EOTechs. Okay. And I almost want to buy one just to get it for the channel, just to see how bad they really are. Mainly because, so I'll tell you a little secret. Like, so this was picked up for the project. The whole concept of this reasoning was, so you got an Amazon gift card or a bunch of Amazon gift cards for Christmas, and all you really wanted was Airsoft stuff. What can you do with that?
Yep.
Can you still get the stuff you wanted? So the whole project was, I had to buy everything off Amazon. Or if I got something out of my parts bin, I had to be able to still find an equivalency on Amazon that you could theoretically still finagle it. So I got this whole build that's going to finish with this whole thing, and so it's going to culminate with one final video of this is the whole build, and these are all the links to everything you could put on this from Amazon, and so you theoretically
this is the total.
Could take
this is how much it
$400 in Amazon gift cards and walk away with the Airsoft build of your a cool Airsoft build with a cheap gun. That's not a bad gun.
No,
for a $200 gun. So that was kind of the whole idea of the video. Me and a buddy talked, and we were just spitballing, and he's like, you should do that. And I was like, that's not a bad idea. So that's kind of like that's coming down the pipe, so to speak.
Okay.
So we're building. That's why I built these guns, and me and my son are building these 2 MP5s, and we're both building them a little differently. The whole concept is, your aunt and your uncle were like, I don't know what to get you, Billy, but here's some fucking Amazon gift cards. Here you go. Knock yourself silly.
There you go.
Can you do it? Can you make this work? And I found out you can get mags. You can get an optic mount. Problem is, this optic mount sucks. Like I was telling you guys during the live.
Okay.
You have to have an optic that has a basically like the screw-on, like adjuster.
Yeah.
Because the rail's off spec. Gotcha. I've yet to find one on Amazon yet that's spec'd out to the right size. So this 20 millimeter pick rail is just a little too big. So I can't put this one on there. This guy won't fit.
Oh, okay.
None of my optics that don't have this type of adjuster will fit on there. Yeah. Yeah. So these EOTechs, my real EOTech fits on there just fine. My real 5.52, this Repro 5.52 that's got like all busted up, it fits on there just fine.
Yeah.
So we're going to be swapping out the rail on mine with a real rail from an Elite Force rail, so I can put the 5.58 on there for the review.
Okay.
But we'll still mention that I do have the Amazon rail. That's probably why I'm going to buy the shitty AK Fire optic, just so I can say, you theoretically can do it. I just don't advise it because it's not a good optic. But you could do it. But yeah, it's going to be a fun project.
Yeah, we had the same issue with a lot of the stuff we were reviewing when we were getting stuff in mystery boxes and stuff. You know, is we'd have the same issue where if it was fixed, the sight mount was fixed.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't fit. We'd have to we'd try and it just wouldn't go on. And the ones that had the adjustable, the big, I guess, wing or nut on there, that you could adjust. It wouldn't.
They're always better.
Those would work. But we did a similar type of thing. We did. I told the guys to do a bunch of research and see what would be if somebody wanted to go to a mil sim, get into Airsoft and go to a mil sim for the first time. What's the cheapest build they could do with still having fun, right? So
that's kind of what we're doing with this.
Yeah, that's exactly. And this has been done, numerous times in the past. I mean, we didn't have the first idea of it. We've seen other channels that have done it. And
same here.
And
yeah, exactly.
We came up with they would come out, they would, and they were getting together and they were talking about it and they would show me all the stuff, right? When we were getting ready to film.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, how much was this? And how much was this? I'm like, so why do you need this kind of chest rig for a mil sim? Like, you don't need it, right? Like, this cheap one, the straps will last. It ain't gonna rip. It ain't gonna fall apart. It ain't gonna, not for one weekend. If you're, if somebody is gonna play 4 times a year, right? Every quarter, once every 3 months, they go to a mil sim. They can store their gear in a tote and only use it for these things. So anyway, they came down. It was $175. Because at first it was like $300 some, and I was like, no, dude, a 17-year-old, working in a grocery store or whatever, is and going to high school. No, this is no. How like, get rid of this Gucci name, okay, of thing.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need it for that. Like, get it down to the bare bones minimum of what's the most important thing that you need on the field that you're going to put more money into, right? It ain't going to be an optic because most people don't aim down their sight anyway. Like when you're brand new in Airsoft, you're following the BB with your eyes. So you don't need that shit. So take the optic out. So we got it down to $175. Somebody could, basically get some decent gear and enjoy themselves at a mil sim.
I'm kind of doing something similar with this.
Yeah.
This is...
And by the way, anyone that's watching or listening, that's not including the mil sim cost. Travel, the ticket, all that kind of shit. I'm talking about
the gear.
That's just the gear, okay? So
I'm kind of doing the same kind of thing with this setup too. And this is all stuff that hasn't hit the channel yet. A lot of the stuff that's going to get reviewed. So,
well, we love doing new reveals on this channel. Okay, so reveal away, my friend.
This is like a copy of the Spiritus Thing 2 that is kind of janky, but it's kind of cool because it's not thermoplastic; it's just plastic. Yeah, but it's neat because it's an expander. So I can take this off the plate carrier. This guy here, I can have the plate carrier and this. And if I got too hot or I just didn't want to run the plate carrier anymore, I could just take this chassis thing and set it up and run it with my shit.
Oh, that's nice, dude.
And this is like, I want to say the chassis, the whole chassis that's hooked into was like maybe $30. This thing was like maybe $30. This thing was maybe $20 or $30. And then the straps were another maybe $20. So all in, and then the pouches were like $18 each for these extra pouches. But the chassis thing is cool because it has built-in radio pouches on the backside.
Oh, that's nice.
So it's set up for. So all in, I want to say a little over $100. You could be completely set up with this entire like chest setup. With, no mags or anything, but and you don't even have to get these straps. That's the thing. This comes with straps. This chest rig, these.
Oh.
These are just straps I upgraded to because I like the H harness. Okay, if you don't like it, if you're a smaller guy like my son, like you're a teenager, you could just stick with the X straps that it comes with because you're gonna want those anyway to go across your little body versus a big old fat hoss like me. I need an H harness. I am what they call a barrel-chested freedom fighter, so I need that H harness.
There you go.
But my son, he needs the X straps, so we took the X straps off mine that it came with, put it on his little placard that didn't have any. Yeah. I rigged him up, sewed some extra shit. He's good to go now. Now he can rip the placard off his JPC, put some straps on it, back. He's good to go. Now he has a little lightweight chest rig. I did the expander. He's probably actually going to get this expander. That's probably going to become his.
Yeah.
Because I'm probably going to buy a real one now because I want to compare the two. I want to go, okay, this is the fake. This is the real one. This is how much a real one costs, how much a fake costs. I think the real one's like $80.
Okay.
So you can get this if you like it. You like the concept. You like how it feels. Because I really like that thing. I'm like, this is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Now I can go, okay, do I want to upgrade to the $80 one that's going to last me longer and probably not going to break? Because I'll show you guys where I know this is going to fail. Well, surprise for the review. It's going to fail right here. These little little rivet points, these plastic rivets, they're going to fail.
Yep.
Yeah, they're going to break. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah. So, what would you say that material? What is that material that's holding the?
It's just
what
plastic.
Is that? It's like a.
Supposedly, it's a thermoplastic. It feels like a really lightweight Kydex.
Leather, right? Yeah.
No, it's just a lightweight Kydex plastic.
Gotcha.
The real one, they use like a high density thermoplastic or like a Tigris. Mm-hmm. This is just like a really thin Kydex that they riveted together.
And that point that it goes to on the rivet is really small. So
it's extremely
you don't
small.
Have a really strong material that or the rivet, but I'm guessing that material is just going to bust out.
Yeah, and I've seen some stuff on Amazon. I saw some reviews. I knew what I was buying. I was buying it for the channel, and to give to my son. I said at the end of the video, I'm like, this is probably going to go to him.
Yeah.
But I knew that was going to be a fail point. I actually saw people posting pictures like it broke right here. I'm like, you're shocked about this? I mean, did you look at the pictures of the design?
Yeah, right.
It's plastic, guys. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's not. It's like I don't know why you would think you're getting Spiritus Thing 2 quality from Woe Sport out of like China, mainland China. It's like, come on, guys. Some of this stuff, 100%. Some of this stuff, you're 100% getting some decent shit for the price.
Right.
A lot of this stuff, you're not. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, and that's and I've been bringing this up a lot in my reviews lately. If you're building these kits to go to a big Milsim event, you may not want to go cheap.
Right.
Because people are wearing nods now. I mean, thermal doesn't matter, and nobody can hide from thermal. But you can kind of mitigate your IR signature if you wear the right shit. Because if you're wearing stuff that's NIR compliant, it's not going to have massive color shift under the nods. It's not going to look as weird because when stuff color shifts under night vision, that's what kind of really goes, what the fuck is that? That looks strange. Because you want your camouflage
silhouette.
It doesn't really break your hold on. It doesn't really break up your silhouette, but oh god, I'm trying to brush it. So I got this Wild Things poncho. It's in multicam, right? Mm-hmm. So if this was, and I think it is, if this is NIR compliant, when you look at this under nods, it still looks like multicam for the most part. Mm-hmm. It doesn't really color shift or anything or do anything weird. If it's not IR compliant, what'll happen when you look at this kind of shit under night vision is you'll get this weird, they call it like color shifting. Some of these colors and hues will shift one way, or they'll get really bright, and some will get really dark, and you'll get like you won't really be able to make the pattern out anymore.
Okay.
And it'll be obviously not what it's supposed to be. It'll now not be camouflage, and it'll be like a hello, look at me. It'll almost glow because the color.
Oh, okay.
Because the colors are shifting in different directions in the spectrum. So if it's properly IR treated and IR compliant, you're not going to get that color shift. It's just going to look like multicam under night vision.
Yeah.
Oh, good. The smell's going. So I had to pull these out of my Iconics box because they had like a weird smell because that DR coating, if it sits in the heat for too long, it just gets a weird smell.
Yeah, they started that back when I was in. I mean, we had the same kind of thing. We weren't supposed to. In fact, they told us we weren't supposed to go take our camis. Like if we took them to get pressed at a dry cleaning place out in town.
No starch.
No starch because it fucks up the IR thing or whatever.
Yep, it does. Fucks your IR treatment. And
then we had vehicles had special paint on them called CARC. CARC. I don't know what it stood for. I honestly don't know what it stood for, but that was supposed to be IR resistant or whatever. Some kind of shit.
It stops that color shift. It stops it from.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people that are way smarter on this than me that have done some fantastic content. So if you're watching this podcast and you were like, "Hey, what the fuck are you guys talking about?" I'm kind of curious. Yeah. Get on YouTube. Just start typing in IR theory and like color shift and night vision, and there's a ton of fantastic content out there.
Really?
In the airsoft spectrum and the non-airsoft spectrum, and it all talks about this shit. But big games, Milsim West, guys are wearing night vision, and it's not. And now it's not just like 46, year old men like me who are like, I can afford this. No, I'm talking like 18-year-old fucking kids have saved their pennies. And they have $10,000 night vision.
I know, dude.
Or they rented it for the game.
Rent them on the field. Yep.
Yeah, there's companies that specialize in just renting for the weekend. And these dudes are running around with nods, and it's crazy. And if your shit is not IR treated, it'll look Gucci. You'll look Gucci as hell. But all of this is just gonna be like bright as fuck.
Yeah.
So it sucks because you might get a cool pouch if the repro is something you really like. Because you couldn't afford it, you're like, I want that look, and it's really cool to get that look. But if you're going to go to a big event, if you like this, like perfect example, I'm gonna go back to this again. So this is a replica spud pouch of Spiritus' spud pouch. I got this because I wanted to know. One, I could never find these damn things in stock in Ranger Green at Spiritus, so I was like, fuck it, I'll get off Amazon for $18.
Cut. What is it?
Yeah, they call them pangolin flaps. These are super neat. I'm pretty sure their flaps are probably made of like a Hypalon material or something. This is just Cordura, so it's gonna get all fucky over time. But these things are cool. They're like a multi-purpose pouch to hold multi-calibers. I love it. I've got to get some real ones now. That was the whole reason I bought these, was to find out if I was going to like them.
What kind of pouch is this? I don't even know what it is.
It's a pouch, or they call it like a multi-purpose pouch. It'll hold multiple different calibers. It'll hold water bottles, like mags, whatever you need it to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's got like a little thing in there. But they call it a spud pouch.
Okay.
Special purpose something.
Oh, okay.
It's a fantastic design. Spiritus really knocked it out. I got the repro to test out. I like the repro quite a bit, so I have to get the real ones now because I was kind of on the fence if it was gonna be a pouch I would want or need. Yeah. And now that I've got the fake ones and they worked the way I want them to, I'm like, I have to get the real ones. So these will become my sons.
Why are they cut like that? Are they cut like that for relief, like to adjust to whatever you want in there?
Yeah, breaking up the silhouette, just kind of giving you some space.
Yeah,
so you can run antennas through them.
You can run something through it. Yeah.
You can turn these into makeshift radio pouches, wires, whatever.
Oh, that's wild.
And so Spiritus sells just the lids too, so you can put these on, like anything with the right Velcro setup. You could put these lids on.
Oh, that's
Pretty
crazy.
neat. Or you could take existing pouches you already own that have the same lid design where it's Velcro's in, and you could switch all your pouches out with these cool laser cut pangolin lids. It's a neat concept. They really did their homework, and I'm actually, that's kind of one of the things I have on the docket is to get like a full Spiritus setup.
Yeah.
But the problem with Spiritus is they never have like two things I fucking want. And you go to their website and they'll be like, cool. So I go to build a kit or build some stuff. It's like, yeah, we got the one spud pouch in Ranger Green you need, but we don't have the 6 other things in Ranger Green. Or we have because they do the same thing like that plate carrier where you go and you get the front and back plate bags. You got to build it. I go to build the plate carrier and it's like, cool, we have your plate bag, your front bag in Ranger Green and large, but we don't have it in the back bag. And
right.
And we don't have the cover button. I'm like, come on, Spiritus, man. Like, they never have everything I need. Hence why I have the replica shit. I couldn't get it from that. I couldn't get it from them. I was like, Spiritus, your cock teases, bros. Killing me.
Well, one thing is, I want to qualify the video I talked about where we're doing, $175 build. Now, by the way, this is 4 years ago, before everything went through the roof because of our current administration. Okay.
Don't even get started.
The other thing is, this is for bare bones basic. If somebody is going to their first milsim, you could get through the milsim without shit breaking and still have a good time. This isn't for 5 year use or whatever, or use against a team full of nods. Okay.
You're going to go get wrecked.
I'm going to tell you what I really like about your reviews is that, number one, you're extremely knowledgeable about the brands and the way they're made, which is really, for sure. So you go over details in the manufacture process, you know what I mean? Like how it's stitched, where the Velcro is, where all these different things that, most people that have never worked in manufacturing don't really know how this process works. Like there's a whole process of, somebody has to draw this out. Somebody has to have an idea, draw it out, like, hey, how can we make this better or whatever? So, or just even make this product. So there has to be an idea, then a drawing, then a lot more talking about it, and with different people and brainstorming, and then it finally gets a mold made or a process set up, whether it's on the sewing machine or stitcher or whatever they use, for that kind of stuff, or a mold for plastic for presses or for injection molding or whatever it is. Like I worked in that field for 25 years, and a lot of people don't know the tiny little details that go into just to make this one little corner stronger, right? There's a lot that goes into it. How do we do that? We have to cut the mold a little deeper in this spot so that there's more material in there. Now we have a problem with porosity. Now we have a problem with, it threw off the whole venting process when it injects in there. So now we got holes in the plastic. So, I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. You go over a lot of this, maybe not that, on the manufacturing side, but you go over the detail on how it's stitched together, where the Velcro is, where this, like those Pelagon or whatever those things are called.
The pangolin. Yeah.
Pangolin, okay. All these different things, it's a really useful thing. So anyone that's, if you hear this, if you watch this or hear it, and you're fairly new to Airsoft, or you've been playing for a while and you're looking for better reviews and you don't know, like gear, all this kind of shit, this is the number one thing, bro. All these people I talk to that get into Airsoft, they might get some tips from their friends, but they might, some of that gear might not work for them because they're different body style, different body type, size, and also their gameplay style. So they're not going to be running and gunning. They're not going to be, running and diving into, behind a barricade. They're kind of, sitting back with whatever, DMR or something like that. Like this is, so the stuff you do on your channel is very specific to some of these different things that is very useful for people. So if you haven't followed Muddy Reviews, go do it right now on Instagram and YouTube. It'll be worth it. I promise.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Absolutely, dude.
Yeah, I try to. I think it helps that I learned to sew. In the past few years, I had learned to sew, and I was sewing. I'm not as my wife's better at it than I am, but I have made my own slings. I've made some pouches on limited sizing because there's times where I was like, I need something and I can't find it, so I made my own. And I started learning a lot in that process and going, okay, that's what this stitch is for. That's what this stitch is for.
Right.
And I also learned just being just a gear queer. I was just like, and I know that's wait, I'm not supposed to say gear queer anymore. It's offensive.
Why? Because the word
whatever.
queer?
Yeah, gearhead.
I don't think it's offensive. They have a show on Netflix called Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. Like, you know.
I don't know, but some people are like, that's offensive. I'm like, well, no, not supposed to be offensive. I promise.
Listen, all you queers out there, I promise you, I bet you not offended. Okay, you're the farthest thing from. You're just fine with it.
Trust me, I'm the farthest thing from not your ally, I promise. But anyway, so the gear is like, for me, I've always just liked gear, but I always wanted gear that was going to make my life and my job better, and my shit lighter, or better, or faster, or easier. So I really just, like anything else I approached, I just did a deep dive into it. And then I kind of became that guy where first they want to make... And you know what this is like. You were a Marine. Everyone wants to make fun of you at first. Oh, that's the gear guy. He's doing... But then they're suddenly like, oh shit, this pouch doesn't work right. Hey man, you know how to fix this? Or hey man, could you recommend something? Because this thing sucks. And you're like, yeah, I got you, homie. Come here. Because you're not going to be a dick to him. You're going to be like, yeah, it was real funny to make fun of me because I was a gear guy. But now that you need a recommendation, you're going to come to me. But luckily for you, I'm a dude, so come here, homie. Let me help you out.
We're not petty. We're not petty. So we don't remember like that kind of shit. We're like, okay, we got you, bro.
Welcome to my dungeon. Come inside. Let me see what I got for you.
Yeah.
Because I was the dude that was always picking up like, oh shit, there's a fucking buckle. I'd pick it up and store it in my bag or something. So I always had like parts. So if somebody's buckle would break, I'm like, I got you. Come here, and I'd fix their shit. Or like, I always had 550 cord. I always had zip ties. I always had extra buckles. I always had Ranger bands, rubber band. I always had shit. 90-mile-an-hour tape. I was always rigging stuff up. So, and then I just got into gear, and I just kept on it. And then Airsoft just became the dirty little outlet for this stuff. That's all it really was. It's just an excuse to buy more kit. That's all it is. Because I love gear, but I love the history of gear. I like learning where it came from, why it came about.
Yeah.
That's why GBRS Group, they make some fantastic YouTubes. They call them knowledge transfers. And these guys are these old tier 1 dudes. They're not that old. They're shit. Most of them are younger than me. But these tier 1 guys that were like dev group dudes.
Yeah.
And they'll talk about why they did what they did with their helmets. Why they do what they do with their belts. Or did what they did. Like, the whys behind it. Not just, hey, we had our helmets and we took the rails off.
Yeah.
And then just leave it at that. They would be like, I took the rails off my helmet because I didn't use them very much, and in the mountains of Afghanistan, ounces equal pounds, pounds equal pain, so why leave these plastic rails on my helmet if I don't wear them, and I don't use them? It may be a few ounces, but that shit's going to add up after 12 hours of wearing this helmet.
Especially on your freaking head, bro, for real.
Yeah, so he would go into this deep dive on why he took the rails off. Or, my lid out here. So a lot of my lids right now, I still run the comms on my helmet, where I can pop them and bring them down and bring them up.
Guys do,
I personally like that.
Yeah.
But a lot of the dev group guys weren't doing that. They stopped doing that. Even some of the Delta Force, like the tag guys, they stopped doing that. They run their comms like this and then put their helmet over it. How I always did it. Like, I copied the Gucci guys because I'm going to try that. It looks cool. And it is cool. It's kind of fun. I still fight with it sometimes. Moving around, but I've always worn comms under my helmet, and for me, I always thought it made a little more sense to do it that way, because if I take my helmet off, I still have my comms. I can still talk to you.
Makes sense.
And that was their entire reasoning. They're like, if I take my lid off, I have my comms still. So they'll run their comms underneath. And I was like, oh shit, okay.
Okay.
You're doing what us poors were doing, but you're doing it at the high speed level because it makes more sense.
Yeah.
So the new build I'm working on, that's how I'm going to run it. I'm not running the comms built onto the helmet. I'm going to run them underneath.
Okay.
Which my comms were supposed to be here today, and I'm a little pissed off at Amazon. They're like, sorry, bro.
That shit. Okay.
Well,
do a review on the drivers. No, I'm just kidding.
No. The dude showed up and he was like, "My bad, bro. I filled in for some guy, and your other package wasn't on my cart, and they rushed me out the door." And I'm like, "Dude, it says my shit's out for delivery. This shit's probably lost." And that was like my $100+ headset. The only thing that showed up was the $15 Velcro kit. Fuck. I hate you people, because now it's going to take you a month to like rectify this. I was like, damn it.
No,
the one thing I wanted.
No, won't.
The last time it was a nightmare. So the last time it was one of these pouches right here.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we can't say the package is lost. And I'm like, it says here the last time it was scanned was at this location and never made it to this location, never went out for delivery. That's the definition of lost. And the lady was like arguing with me. She's like, well, we can't call it lost for 2 weeks, and then after that, we have to open up an investigation. And I'm like, fuck you, just give me my money back. So I had to just go around and...
Oh, that's weird.
Man, I had to go round and round with them. And they finally gave my money back. They're like, do you still want to cancel? I'm like, yeah, just cancel the fucking thing. Give my money back so I can order another one.
Right.
I was like, the pouch is lost. It is gone. It is a negative pouch. It does not exist anymore.
There shouldn't be an argument if they can see on their end and you can see on your end that it wasn't scanned at your location.
It never left the airport. I was like, it is DFW, and it never left. I was like, come on, lady. I was like, that was like 5 days ago. I was like, this is the definition of a lost package. So I was like, if you go to Webster's dictionary, you will see my package as the definition of lost package.
I don't know about that now.
I was like, come on, lady. Don't argue with me.
Did they take pictures of it when you get something delivered at your house?
Oh, always do. So
yeah. So same.
It was. I guess it frustrated me even more because these are the same people that misdelivered something to San Antonio recently, and they were like, "Oh, our bad. We'll just send you another one." I'm like, "Cool. I mean, I'm down. I'm glad you're doing that, but so you'll just deliver something to a house that's empty?
They'll argue and fight about this other thing."
Yeah. So they'll leave 4 packages on the front porch of an empty house, and then just ship me out new ones the next day to my proper address. But they won't. But they'll argue about a pouch that's obviously lost. I was like, the hills you will die on. Blow my mind.
Yeah, right, exactly. Well, it depends on who you're talking to, right? It depends on who they are, what their day's going like, their morning, whatever, or night, whatever time it is there when you're talking to them, and it's who knows. But it's like that movie WALL-E. You've seen the movie WALL-E?
Yeah, I've seen WALL-E.
Isn't it WALL-E where they're showing the future where package? Oh no, it's Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. I think it's where all these drones are dropping. They're on autopilot. They're dropping packages at people's front doors, and nobody's there anymore. Like they're just gone. It might be WALL-E.
I think it was WALL-E because everybody was fat and they
were up in space, but on Earth they were like dropping these packages off at their doors, and it just kept going. Like they're on autopilot.
Kept piling up.
Yeah. They're just like they're setting out these subscribe and save packages every month. Nobody's there.
It's ridiculous.
Oh yeah,
ridiculous.
So they don't care about all the other shit. They don't care about $300 worth of shit being sent to the wrong location. They care about your you calling in and saying, "Bro." Yeah.
They cared. They were giving me hell about an $18 pouch, but they weren't giving me hell about literally over $300 worth of shit sitting on
crazy?
The old porch at my house in San Antonio. I'm like, you sent it to the wrong address. I don't know how. That address isn't even in my system anymore, but you sent it to that one. They're like, oh. And that was the first MP5 I was supposed to review. It's sitting in San Antonio just on a house's doorstep. It's probably still sitting there.
If, it would be wild. If one day in sometime in the future, I actually have somebody on the podcast that was at that house and got a free gun, and then they talk about it and they go, I don't know, man. I was asking God for, how can I go play airsoft? I don't have any money, and this shit showed up at my door.
It just showed up at my door.
And I'm talking to him here like, money! I'm going to call you right then, bro.
He got your shit, bro.
Oh, that's amazing.
It was ridiculous, though. I was like, you're sweating me over an $18 pouch, but you have like literally about $300 worth of shit sitting on a porch, and you just sent me out the stuff the next day. I was like, you people are weird. But
I mean, I've been really lucky with that. We've been here 16 years, in at this location in South Carolina. We've never had an issue, even when we first moved here. Never had an issue with Amazon. I mean, obviously, it wasn't like it is now, as accurate or whatever. We didn't order a lot of things either. It was as much.
I didn't either till the last couple of years. The last 2 years, I've ordered more than I ever have in my life, and it's weird.
Sure. Well, I actually, on my CNR reviews channel, I actually work with somebody that they give me free stuff to review, and I put that on my channel. Yeah, so I put that on my channel. Like, this is from I'll say, or I get it from whoever. I'll put their link in there. That it's like an affiliate. Yeah. It's for the review. Now, I don't skew my reviews. I'll tell him, like, hey, if it's shit. I won't post a review, and he tells me, he's like, hey, if you have a problem with it, email me and we'll figure it out, and I'll send you another one you can review if that one was, defective or whatever.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, I've gotten a lot of, little gadgets here and there, free items that I review. But anyway, I do, all that kind of stuff, and I've never had, I order more stuff now, especially because of that, than I ever did before, And so, but I've never had an issue, that I can think of that wasn't really quickly resolved. Like, it's been
90% of the time it is. It's just a rare moments. I gotta get to EOD Fish's level, man, where they're just like, hey, you want a plate carrier review? Yeah.
I was just going to say, you do all these really specific reviews. These things. You should start reaching out because they're
awkward. You're like, hey, I want to review your stuff. My channel's not that big.
Doesn't matter.
It'll come in time.
Absolutely.
But, like EOD, I know EOD Fish. He's a good dude. I've known him since I got into Airsoft, actually.
Gotcha.
For a really long time, and I love his channel.
We when we did the CNR reviews thing, I didn't actually reach out to somebody. I didn't know how to. This guy contacted us through he made a couple comments on some of the videos we were doing, and then sent me his email, and that's how So somebody reached out to us. It was that way, but I didn't know. But there's a lot of places that will. So,
I've had a couple of viewers actually have commented and been like, hey. Like one guy recently, the thing where he was asking about the Ingall.
Oh.
He was like, hey, are you thinking about reviewing this Ingall? I was like, yeah, I'm thinking about it. I just don't know if I'm going to do it anytime soon. And then he comments like the next day, I bought it. And I was like, oh, cool. And then the next day he's like, yeah, I got it. I already got it in the mail. It's pretty cool. Like we were going back and forth in the comment section. Yeah. He goes, oh man, I'm taking you're in the States. I'm like, yeah. He goes, oh man, if you weren't, I would send it to you so you could review it. I'd be like, oh, that'd be cool. I would have done it. I would have been all about it. Yeah. But I've had a couple people actually like be like, hey man, if you were like somewhere semi closer to me, I would be all about. They'd mail it to me, but they're in like the UK, Finland, shit like that. So they're like, yeah, it's international. It's not gonna work. But that's been kind of cool. That I've actually had viewers reach out to me and be like, I would totally send this to you so you can review it. And I was like, man, that would be pretty cool. And I've actually had some people do that already. I had a handful of things. A couple of my friends in Spain were buying stuff in the States when they were visiting, and then they would let me review stuff. And then I've had friends who I know that are other gear guys, and they've been like, "Hey man, I got this. You want to review it?" I was like, "Yeah, man, let me review it."
Yeah.
And then Stuka, like he bought my thousandth review was his gas blowback. He bought it. It was, hey, I'm going to send it to you, let you review it, and then I want you to paint it for me. And I was like, I got you. And then I sent it back to him. So that was pretty cool.
That is
stuff
cool.
like that. And we've still talked back and forth about doing some stuff where he might send a gun down this way and I can review it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of in the pipe.
Did you get his
So if any of you watching, if interested, I did. His patch is really cool. He hooked me up. He was like, when he got those patches, he's like, "Yo, I got to get you one. I want you to be one of the first people to get one." I was like, "Cool, thanks, bro."
You see it right? Let's see it.
I do. Right there, little red one.
Yeah.
I saw it on one of the lives, and I was gonna ask if that was his patch in the background. But we all got to talking. I couldn't really ask.
Oh, I know.
But yeah,
there's so many people on there.
I got to do patches. I really should. I think I should. My wife's been on me about. She keeps telling me I need to make a shirt or
Do you have a
sticker.
logo? You got a logo. You got a logo.
I got a logo, but she's like, you need to make a LARP smarter, not harder shirt because you keep saying that in your videos. And I was like, yeah, I probably should. That's kind of like my tagline.
Yeah, it is. I love it.
Or just, hey everybody. I have a lot of people say that.
Hey,
like,
everybody.
I was like, yeah, I guess that's my thing, huh? But I've been kicking around the idea of making some patches. But I was just like, I don't know if anybody's going to want a Muddy Reviews patch. I was like, I don't feel like I have an audience for that. But I might. I don't know.
Nah, dude. You gotta, you build it, they will come, okay? That's the thing. We didn't, we had patches the first, I think the second month we started our channel.
Okay.
I actually had gear, or not gear, I had merch. I had merch, nice, I had patches, I went all in the first couple months because I was when I started the YouTube channel, I started it in the mindset of a business. So I treated the YouTube channel as a business. So I put all the merch behind it. Once we came up, I wouldn't start the YouTube channel without a logo first. That was me. It's probably old school now. Like people should just don't do that. Just go ahead. If you got an idea to start, creating content, just be a content creator. Just go for it. Just start, videoing and doing whatever you're going to do, but don't get hung up on the details. I just, there was 4 of us, 2 of my sons, me, and then JP, who got them into Airsoft, and we were having meetings. We were having business meetings over here. Wow, I was like, all right, come on, let's go. Okay, and we met. I mean, they were getting irritated because I was like, I was stuck in the house. I couldn't get, I couldn't walk around very well. I couldn't get out and work and stuff. So I was, and I was on steroids at the time. So I was, I was sleeping like 2 hours a day. I was on prednisone. So I was hyper. Okay.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, hey,
I had that last night, man. I couldn't sleep.
Let's go.
After the steroid shots. I was like, why can't I sleep? And I was like, oh yeah. The steroid
That's when you
shot.
create shit, bro. Let's go. Let's film. Let's edit. Let's whatever, And so anyway, yeah. Don't hesitate on that. That's go ahead and get your patches. It's an investment. But
it's not that much.
No,
for what
a couple $100, $300, whatever. You can get 100 patches made.
Yep.
And it's, I
want to get some slaps made. I want to get stickers made. I like stickers.
Yeah, stickers are good. Airsofters love patches, man. I went with stickers because they're really cheap to have made. But a lot of airsofters, man, they
keep talking.
Go ahead. If you got patches on your website, to sell, when you've got stickers next to them, they're gonna, even though they're cheaper, they're gonna buy patches all day because airsofters love patches, man. Even if they don't put them on their gear, they put them on their patch wall.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's why I was like, I need to get some patches made. I think.
Because
I started, like you were saying, I just started making content, and then as the channel kind of started growing, I was like, whoa, people actually they give a fuck about what I'm saying. This is weird. Okay, so I was like, well, maybe I'll take this serious. So I kind of took it a little more serious. I was like, well, let me come up with some sort of logo. So I threw something together on my computer real quick using a picture of like one of my Airsoft helmets on like a mannequin head.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'll make something. I got the dimensions. And I just threw something together. Yeah. And I was like, I guess I'll make the page look good so it doesn't look just like a random YouTube page. And then it's just been slowly, intermittently just adding shit. Like the new thumbnails. I don't know if you noticed there. I changed how I do my thumbnails recently.
On your video on YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love them.
First I started doing thumbnails, and I was like, okay, I need to do thumbnails. So I made thumbnails, and now I was like,
clean.
I think the thumbnails are too dark. So I made them. I think they're brighter. They're more inviting. They're more.
It shows the piece of gear that you're. Yeah, it's very clear. I love it.
And I kept the color motif that I've been using, so I didn't change that. So that would, because people react very negatively when you do that. I've noticed. It was what company? eBay. I don't know if you know this story. So eBay wanted to change their color scheme,
really,
if I remember correctly.
Okay, no,
a long time ago, and they changed it, and people were just like, "What the hell are you doing?" So eBay said, "Okay, fuck," and they changed it back, and it just very subtly over time kept going to the new color scheme they wanted. Just kept slowly, kept kind of slowly moving the slider over until they finally got to the color they wanted. But they had to do it incrementally, because when they did it all at once, people just reacted really negatively. They were like, "What the hell are you doing? This isn't eBay. What the fuck?" And they freaked out. So eBay was like, "Okay, calm down." They went back and they just slowly eased them into the new look. And when they slowly eased them into the new look, people didn't notice.
No.
So I was like,
it's
okay.
The classic story of the frog in the boiling water, you know.
Exactly. It doesn't know it's time. So if I'm going to change colors, I got to do it over time and ease. But I thought the thumbnails looked better, and I noticed in my metrics, my click-through engagement, it got better. Yeah, so people are stopping on the thumbnails because they're brighter, they're more inviting, it's more open.
Yeah, they are.
And it's more like
your channel now, and I can see a big difference. I love the background. I love this. What is that? Is that a pad?
It's a cutting board for like sewing.
With the squares
I use it on the table because I can measure. I can do rough like down and dirty measurements of like pouches and stuff. Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah,
it's just
really good background.
It's just a sewing mat.
Yep, it's a really good background for these pieces.
Yeah. Gray sewing mat. It gives you an idea, because every one of those squares is 1 inch. So if you know that already or have an idea, you can get an idea of size.
Yeah, you could, but I mean, just visually, just looking at it, like it makes all pleasing. The gear stand out. Even the light colored gear, like this Sherman Designs,
the
Swiveler.
Yeah.
So that's like a light tan, right? Yep. And it still is easy to see on that thumbnail.
Yeah.
With that kind of background. I love that contrast of gray and white.
Thanks. Wow. Yeah, I think I'm going to go through and reshoot a lot of the old thumbnails if I can, and go through all the raw images I have and try to remake a lot of old, and go back and slowly, make old thumbnails, go and redo them with the new way. Because I put a community post up just asking. I was like a little poll, and I think only like 10 people even took the poll.
Sure.
But I got like 80% of like, yeah, the new thumbnails are good, bro. And I think I got like 2 people saying, I don't see a difference. And the other 2 people, because that was like one of the options, like, I don't know, I don't even see a difference. And the other option was like, no, fuck you, the old way was better. So I had like 2 people saying that, and then 2 people being like, I don't even care, nor do I notice. And then but the other like 7 or 6 people were like, yo, no, 80 is like way better. So I'm gonna roll with those.
The ones that said the old way's better are literally just trying to be
edgy.
You know, yeah.
Either that or they're just really like dark imagery, because
nobody likes dark imagery, bro.
So that contrast.
The only way that works is it doesn't work for gear reviews or for your pictures.
I don't think so. Yeah.
No, the brighter ones work very well. They pop. They stand out. The colors pop. It's the only way the dark photographs work is like the newer style of, which I've seen on a lot of, professional photography Instagram pages now.
Yep.
Is the Airsoft stuff. So the tactical shoots is they're doing this a little more, like they'll highlight a certain color in the shoot.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Maybe yourself, if you're in the shoot, you're not the actual focal point, so you're a little darkened out. So it's almost like you're dark, but something else is kind of, and
I used to do that in
It does look
Photoshop.
cool. It looks cool. Yeah.
I would do that in Photoshop. I would take a color image and then I would do a layer over it and make a black and white image.
Yeah.
And then I would erase the black and white over the color portions I wanted to be color. So the whole image would be a black and white photo, but then like the American flag or the Texas flag was all color.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah, I just like incrementally just trying to make the channel look better, feel better. Trying we started editing. My wife started editing all my stuff. She's the one who edits all my videos. Yeah, she edits all the videos.
Really?
Yeah, she was like, "Can I edit your videos?" I was like, "Yeah, go ahead."
You might have told me that last time.
I think I did, but she's got way more into it, way heavier into it. She's the one who puts in a lot of little snarky jokes and quips. That's like her sense of humor a lot of times. I check everything first, so it's funny. We'll have our sons look at it too.
Yeah,
and we'll ask them. We're like, does this work? And if they give us a thumbs up, then we're like, okay, we're good, because that means just about everybody will probably react fairly. Won't think that's corny, bro. I mean, some people still think it's corny, but for the most part, most people will probably get a chuckle out of it, and we'll leave it because they're like, they live on the internet. That's all they do. They're like fucking walking memes. So if they get a little chuckle out of it, we were like, okay, it was probably a pretty good bet. This is going to be okay to leave in the video. Just kind of roll with it.
Right.
And we try not to put a lot of that in there because then it just gets old and people are going to be like, okay, we get it. You put a funny thing in there. Oh, you guys are so funny.
That's funny.
But every so often, I'll say something and she'll be like, I'm gonna make fun of you. I'm gonna clown on you in the video in the editing.
Oh, that's funny.
And I love it. I love it that she'll do that. It's kind of nice. Or I'll misspeak and she'll make fun of me.
Oh, in the video.
In the video, like the one from today, actually, that went up today. I misspeak and she's like, she edited in there. She's like, video game, because I said Airsoft and I meant video game. I was referring to like a company, and she was like, she's like, you mean the video game moron? I was like, yes, ma'am. You got me.
Well, let's watch it real quick because I want to hear it. I didn't.
Well, I shouldn't say. It's just like writes it in the corner.
Yeah, I want to see it. All right, hold on. We'll get through these ads.
Yep. The ads.
We were reviewing something fairly boring. We're reviewing buckles. So I know some
they are boring.
Are like buckles for living room. Well, yeah, buckles. So these are Yashali buckles. Come two in a pack. There's one in this pack. Probably guess I've already got it. One is already installed on the blinker over here, one on the side here, and I'm going to show you the packaging. These look just like.
So weird watching myself.
I kind of thought this stuff, and I like IQW stuff because one, they're quality buckles. Two, most of the time.
You could go if you want to fast forward. It's like 9-minute video, man. You can go to like I think it's like
9-minute video. Wow. Okay.
You can go 4. I know. I told you. That's why I was like buckles. Yeah, buckles.
No, but that's what I love, dude. You go through the details and comparing. Because that's important. Most people don't think it's important until they get on the field and they start doing this stuff.
Yeah, there.
There it is.
That's one of the areas.
Actually, anyway, I digress. So the Yashali buckles, not too bad. They weren't very expensive. You get $10 for a set. IQW buckles a little more expensive. I'll the editor look around, see if she could find pricing.
So they used to be more expensive. They used to be a lot more expensive. Now they're cheap as fuck. So I was like, oh fuck, they're way cheap.
I think it's cool that she puts that in there.
Yeah, I love it. So the Yashalis were like $7 for the set, and you can get these. You get real ones for like $2. I was like, well, shit.
All right, you film this, and then you give it to her.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
then
so I
she
filmed
puts like
everything.
these cutouts in here with the
Yeah. Yeah. So what she does
screenshot
is she'll
from
go.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, right here. So right here. I'll talk about the. If you let it play for a second.
Oh, okay.
The Ace Combat guy. He's going to be 84 92nd out of California. He started his own company. He does his own gear named after the Airsoft game. Fire Squadron, pretty cool.
Video. Okay.
Video game, not Airsoft game. Video game.
So okay, you said Airsoft game.
I misspoke because I was talking about Airsoft because he makes it. He plays Airsoft also, and he also makes a real kit. And he's a big video game fan, and he kind of named his company based on the Ace Combat video game series.
Oh, okay.
So his company name is like a nod to a thing that happens in one of the video games.
Oh, that's cool.
84 92nd. That's what I was talking about, but I misspoke, and she was like, "Video game nerd." I was like,
that's awesome, dude.
She'll catch my misspeaks and everything else. Yeah, and she'll do like go through and scrub and find like the screenshots because we started adding those in, and I think that really helps the reviews too to now start putting in like screenshots of where the products are at. And
oh, absolutely. Yeah,
and,
I do that on my CNR reviews. It does help.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was something else. Like I got a couple videos back, I did shoulder pads, and I've been really leery about getting in front of the camera. I don't like the way I look. I don't like the way I look on camera.
Nobody does.
I'm like, I'm a heavy guy. I'm a bigger guy. I'm like,
doesn't matter.
So the military
people that aren't heavy, they think they're too skinny, or if they're in good shape, they think their nose is wrong.
The military conditioned us. So the military conditioned us to be like, hey, if I'm not meeting or fitting a certain standard right now, then I'm wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm fucked up, I'm wrong, and I'm a piece of shit, and I need to fix it. You are a
piece of shit, okay? We're all pieces of shit.
So I got that in my head. So I'm like, I can't be in front of the camera, because if I'm in front of the camera, someone's going to look at me and be like, oh, you fat fuck. And
they're not going to pay attention to what you're... Yeah, they're going to look at you.
Yeah, I am a fat fuck. Of course I'm a fat fuck. I don't care.
So let me tell you the litmus test,
they're not going to listen to me anymore. They're just going to see fat fuck, and they're going to quit listening to what I'm saying.
Is that what you think when you watch other videos?
That's what I'm concerned about.
No.
That they're not going to take me seriously anymore.
If is that what when you watch other videos, or when you meet people in real life and you start talking with them, do you look at them and judge them and go, they're fat as fuck, I'm not going to listen to them?
No.
Or do you listen to them?
Always listen to them.
That's what other people think of you, bro. That's what other people think of you. Yeah. I'm telling you. I'm going to tell you the best.
Touched my heart.
No, I swear to God.
First
of all, you're a beautiful person, okay? But for real, I'm going to tell you a secret that helped me, okay? Get this book. It's called Love Yourself Like Your Life Depends on It. It's like this thin. It's super thin. And this guy, the author, tells his story of how he was about to kill himself. Like he's really like seconds away from killing himself. And he stops, okay? And I have too, okay? And he stops and anyway,
dark.
He stops and he changes, okay? But one of the things that he says in his book, and it really hit me, okay? He said, if you really want to know, if you really love yourself, because, when you're talking with people and you're like, yeah, I love myself. What are you talking about? Of course, like, I don't hate myself. Like, what? This is one of his tests. Go look in the mirror. No, don't look in the mirror like you're looking at where you're getting ready. No. Look into your own eyes in the mirror and say, I love you. And if it freaks you out or makes you feel awkward or embarrassed, then you don't love yourself enough, okay? And I was like, what? Bullshit.
That's some deep,
I went into the mirror. I read this page and I went into the mirror and I looked and, because you can look at your face.
Oh, yeah,
You can look at you're shaving, you look at everything, but we rarely look into our own eyes in the mirror. And he said, I was like, I'm looking in my own eyes. I was like, almost didn't want to say it, bro. I felt so
fuck.
fucking weird. I was like, why do I feel weird? I was like, okay, I guess I need to work on this. So I did. And so anyway, he went through. So look, get that book.
I was working on that in Germany. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I need to be nicer to myself. In all honesty, I'm way too mean to myself. My wife's always yelling at me. She's like, "You need to be nicer to yourself. You are so critical." And I'm like, I know. And like Stuka said, I did the goggle review a couple, like 3 or 4 days ago. And he was like, yo, that was awesome. I'm so glad you were like in front of the camera with the goggles on. He goes, because we could see how they fit and everything was great. He goes, and it was epic beard reveal. And I laughed. I was like, okay, you're right.
Yeah.
But he said that was great. He really liked the fact that you could see, because I put a helmet on with him. I did the whole thing. Mm-hmm. And he said it was fantastic. He loved that video because he could see exactly how they fit. And it probably does help because, I mean, let's be 100% right now. Let's just be 100. A lot of people that play Airsoft are not exactly the pinnacle of fitness.
No.
Let's be 100. So
not even just Airsoft, like people in life in general. In the UK,
my son just came out
in America.
That's why I made that weird face.
Yeah, we're not.
Yeah.
We're not. Yeah, it's.
So it probably
shitty and sitting around playing video games. Okay.
I've been forced sedentary for like almost 3 full years because of my
guys that were in the military, veterans.
My hip injury.
Self-medicate, right? We've self-medicated with alcohol or some kind of thing that makes us swell and retain water.
Yeah, exactly.
And, like we have injuries and all kind of shit. Okay, like that's Yeah,
all my injuries. I was bedridden and. And just all those medications, and like you said, you retain water, and then you're like, "What happened to me?
Blow up.
What is wrong with me?"
2 weeks, you can gain 30 pounds in 2 weeks, no problem.
Oh, bro!
Listen, gaining weight is like credit cards. Okay, you can run that shit up like 500. Okay, now it takes you 10 years to get it off. I'm just saying. Like pay the minimum on it. That's what we do with our bodies.
Minimum due every month. Minimum payment.
Hey, look, I'm doing great for a week, and then the weekend, pizza and fucking burgers and beer.
Shot.
30 pounds over a weekend, okay? Whatever.
All of it done. And like I was pointing out, the military does condition us to be like, meet a standard, look a certain way.
Yep.
And I've mentioned this in the last podcast. I blade ran my whole career, man. I'm not a small person. I never have been. I never will be. I'm not built that way. I am a big dude.
Yeah.
And they loved me for it when they needed it. Let me tell you, when they needed a guy to carry the breaching kit, I was their man. Sure. As they said, I was the mule. I was the guy that carried the breaching kit. When they needed the guy to carry a Mark 43, an M60, a 240, there you go, buddy. I'm the hoss. I'm the short, stocky motherfucker. But when they needed that guy to look really, really fucking just like perfect in his dress whites, I was not the guy. I was not the guy they wanted.
Riverines or the Navy.
Yeah, I was not the poster child. I mean, I looked good in my uniform. Don't get me wrong. I never looked slovenly or sloppy.
Yeah.
But I was not the poster child by any fucking means. I was the guy in the third row because I'm a big guy, man. I'm not a small dude. Yeah. I never looked sloppy, but I'm not the fucking lieutenant that is like 115 pounds and runs like 17 miles a day. This is like, hey, gents. It's like, fuck you, sir. Yeah, not a marathon runner.
Yeah.
But I got off on a tangent. Bring it around. So I guess I didn't like being in front of the camera. I didn't want to. Extremely self-conscious.
Sure.
And I was also worried that people, I always felt like they're already going to be critical anyway because I'm talking about playing with toy guns. And even if I talk about, I try not to even talk about the military as much as I can. I try not to bring that up because I don't want to be like, hey, I was in the military, guys. Hey, what's going on here? Look at me. No, that's not my whole thing. But if it's pertinent to the review, I'll bring it up. But I try not to like flaunt that around. Hey, so cool. But then I feel like once I get in front of the camera, I feel like any of those bona fides are like shot because now they're like, oh, you're fat, But and then like Stu goes like, "You're not that fat, dude. I saw you in the video." He goes, "I saw you standing there with your with the goggle video." He goes, "You're just a fucking." He goes, "You're a thick dude." He goes, "You look like there's muscle there too, man. Relax." Because you look like you could punch somebody and handle yourself in a bar fight. I was like,
right.
Thank you. I'll take it. But then that made me realize there's thick guys out there that play airsoft. They're going to want to know how this shit fits.
Absolutely.
And they're going to want to know, hey, does this work? So now I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to get in the camera more. And I got my son, who's a fucking string bean. This kid is like damn near 6'2", and he's just like skinny as shit. Yeah. So we got both sides of the house. We got short, stocky, old fat man, and then we've got tall, skinny kid. So we can kind of go, hey, if you are this kind of guy, maybe don't wear this because this is not going to fit you. And if you're this kind of guy, you definitely don't want to wear this because it's not going to fit you. And that's kind of what we're pushing towards too with the reviews too, is trying to figure fitment out. Like
yeah, that's a
thing.
good. It's a good thing to do because you have the contrast, and that's what I've seen with most people that I've talked with. There's a really majority of people that I've had on here are not medium, like medium build. They're
all large dudes.
They're either very big or very skinny, and
there's almost nothing in the middle.
Yep.
So this combat shirt,
I have one of those shirts. Those are nice.
3XL.
Yeah.
But it really is just an XL. Barely an XL. It's like a large XL. Shit. But it's a Krydex, so it's China sizes. So it's 3XL.
Oh, yeah.
So I had to kind of guess. I was like, no. So I got the 3XL. It fits like an extra large. So I just reviewed this. So that's going to be on the channel probably in about 2 weeks.
Okay.
But I did a side-by-side with a issued Marine Corps frog top in XL because I like my combat shirts big and flowy. Not just because I'm a big dude, but I just never liked. Even when I played ice hockey, I didn't like tight shit on me. I was like, ugh, because I hated peeling the shirt off of me, like gross when I get sweaty. So I didn't like that with combat shirts either. I like them flowy, and that's close to my frog top. So I was very excited. So I was able to kind of gauge it. So now I can help people with a review to go, look, I'm an XL, solid XL. I'm a solid extra large T-shirt. I'm a solid extra large combat shirt. That's a 3XL Krydex. Take that for how you will, but that's probably going to be your rough Rorschach test of like shirts. How is it? That's going to be how you're going to know now. So if you're a little dude, you're probably going to have to go up a size. If you're a big dude, you're definitely going to have to go up a size or two to make this work for you.
Right.
And that's kind of why I'm. And don't get me wrong, I'm not like content in my currentness. I'm trying to get smaller again.
Of course.
Because I'm like.
It's always a work in progress, man.
Yeah, well, I can't wear a lot of my shit I used to be able to wear. So I've got all this really cool stuff, and I can't. It is
not like I'm a work in progress.
Yeah, it's not like I'm grossly out of it either. It's the worst part. It's just a little too small. And I'm like, come on! I want to wear my cries again, man. Come on! I paid way too much for that shit.
That's what happens. We don't really work on it until
I had to buy cries.
Oh, I didn't get issued shit. I don't know what. Yeah.
No, I wasn't a cool guy.
We didn't even use iPro when I was in. Okay, I swear to God.
Who needs eyes? Fuck eyes.
We're not
wearing iPro.
No, we did not wear any of that shit when I was in. So look, I'm going to share the screen with you because
please do.
Anytime. So this is for you and for anyone else out there. Anyone's watching or listening, if you ever feel like, if you're a content creator and you ever feel like you are not good looking enough or fit enough to review, to record yourself, okay? This is me. When I don't think I had.
That is not you, is it really?
Yeah, that's me. Yeah. Yep, that's me. I was 325 pounds. Look at this one. Look at my face. Okay.
That's you?
Yeah, that's me right here. Okay.
Bro,
that's my wife.
Wow.
Okay. That's Coltrane. That's on the channel. One of my sons.
Nice.
So this was before we started the channel. I was 325 pounds. This is coming off of. I was a year into prednisone, or 6 months into prednisone. Okay?
Those steroids are the fucking worst, man.
Yeah, so I had so when they gave me the treatment to help me walk again, it was this IVIG thing. It was called intravenous globulin something whatever, and it's some kind of platelet treatment to help your immune system. It did help a little bit, but what it did was all these papers you sign, like the waiver thing, it says side effects. Well, I got one of the side effects.
A bunch of those,
which was thickness of blood or whatever. It caused a blood clot. So between the prednisone and a blood clot, my whole right side my leg was swollen. I didn't catch it right away because I wasn't paying attention because I was already swelling from the prednisone for 2 months.
Yeah, that shit'll creep up on you if you're already swelling.
Yeah, so my right lung was full. I didn't know why I couldn't breathe right. My right lung was full.
Oh my God.
They rushed me to the hospital, all this kind of stuff. Anyway, I gained 100 pounds in like 3 or 4 months. I have stretch marks that are like 2 inches wide, okay? So, because I swelled so fast. But this is
that's rapid.
After all of that, when I was able to actually walk again, but I still had all this swelling. You see that my face here looks like swollen as shit, bro. I look like fat bastard.
Oh, yeah.
So we started the channel.
Like fat bastard. But I see the swelling. Yeah, see, we're so mean to ourselves, man.
For real.
It's the military.
So,
but anyway,
now this is me at
okay.
After we started our channel, I started getting better and stuff. But this is Alexandra. This is an event, a Call of Duty event at SS Airsoft, and it's it's down by Atlanta, Georgia. And I went down there with me and Colton, and we went down there.
Okay.
We met Alexandra. We met Jammer Actual, who was ex-Marine, recon guy.
There we go. He's starting to look like
he does some airsoft events or whatever. So anyway, look, if you ever feel shitty about yourself being on camera, when we started our channel, if you go back and look at some of our early videos, I looked a lot like this. Okay, I was still pretty fucking fat. Okay, I didn't really care about people seeing me at the time because I was coming out of what I came out of. I was just needed something to do, man. My thought was nobody's gonna watch this shit anyway. I don't care. I'm just gonna film it, and whatever the fuck happens. So if you ever get discouraged about being on camera, this goes for you and anyone else out there. Look at that and be like, okay, if he can look like that and do it, I can do it. I promise you. Okay.
You sold me, man.
Yeah.
You're my spirit animal now. I like
it. So it's look, humans, we connect through our face and our talking, okay, and our eyes and stuff. Like that's not. We don't just. If you see somebody from afar, you might go, "Holy shit, that person's big," right? But then if you ever run into them, you meet them, or you start talking with them, within not even 30 seconds, a minute, okay, 60 seconds, then you get that vibe from them, and they're good. You get that good vibe. You get that positive. You start talking with them. You never focus on that again. You never focus on that thing again. You only do that in the first time you ever see them, and that quick thing runs through your head. But listen, when you get to know them, even just for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, you'll never look at them and think that same thing again. You'll look at them and think about what you talked about, your personality, their personality. Like, you don't think about their body. We are way more than this freaking skin bag, okay?
The shell.
Yeah, bro. For real.
I honestly, I didn't mind being a battle cattle when I was in, because it helped me do my job.
Sure.
Even as a military policeman, I loved it because I could roll onto a scene and people would be like, they would calm the fuck down because I'm not small. And I could be like, hey, stop. Yeah. And they'd be like, yes, sir. And some of my smaller MPs would show up and they'd be like, still acting the fool. And I could come in there and be like, you might want to stop because I will make you stop. So we can do this the easy way or the hard way. And it only really, I guess, impacted me later when my size wasn't helping me, quote unquote. But fuck all that.
Yeah, that's Yeah, just listen. Do some of your videos. Start doing some of your videos. You have really good content.
You're going to see a lot more of the videos.
Yeah, add some personality to it. People do really want to see more than just the gear.
My hands.
And their hands. Yeah.
Well, I was trying to keep it mostly the gear because that was the focus. But as Stuka pointed out, and as you're pointing out too, and even other people pointed out, Stuka pointed this out too, and he made a great point. He was like, look, man, I'm just an airsofter. He goes, I've never been in the military. He goes, I've never worn this shit. He goes, I don't always know how to put it together. Him and my wife are the reason I was like, oh, I should do those assembly videos. I might start doing specific videos for how to put this shit together.
Right.
But he brought the point up. He's like, I love seeing that you in front of the camera now more. Or he goes, some of the reviews you've done in the past were great, but it would have been really helpful if you had put the piece of kit on or had shown the piece of kit being like utilized. I was like, oh damn, I didn't think about that. That's a good fucking point. So I want to start. You're going to start seeing a lot more of that where it's necessary. Some of the kit, it's just not necessary. You're just going to see that thing, like the buckles. I don't need to put buckles on. You don't need to see that. That's neither here nor there. But,
but
this plate carrier, you're going to see that. I'm going to put it on. I mean, you're going to actually. You do see that plate carrier. There's some shoulder pads on it from Shaw Concepts. So these shoulder pads from Shaw Concepts are getting reviewed. I'm still in the process of testing them.
Okay.
And they're pretty cool so far. But I have a whole segment for what I have filmed with them.
Yeah.
Of me actually wearing the carrier, showing you the turn and doing a full turnaround, showing them. Because I did a shoulder pad review. And I had a really long comment. One of the guys who had regularly views the channel has commented in the past. And he's like, hey, I love your stuff, man, brother. Great review. However, these are some things I would love to have seen. And he broke it down. And I was like, you made some fucking fantastic points.
Well,
and so I'm making sure to address that in the new video.
Yeah, well, especially with gear stuff that goes on your body. I think if you're just doing the top-down stuff, instead of showing it in use, people know, like, bro, there's something missing here,
Yeah. Because that's why I started eventually instead of just going, these are some shoulder pads, look, I started to make sure I showed you how to install them, how to put them on, but now I think we're getting past that. Now it's getting to, okay, I'm not just going to show you how to install them, now I'm going to show you how it fits on me.
Yep. How
you're going to run wires through them. Now, the one thing I'm not going to probably not going to film me going for a 1.5 mile walk, because that just sounds boring as fuck. But I will put it on and tell you, okay, I just got back from a 1.5 mile walk. I'm sweaty, I'm gross, I'm hot, and I'm miserable. This is how it worked. This is how comfortable they are.
Yeah.
This is how I felt, get in front of the camera. All right, guys, I'm about to go walk. This is how they feel right now. This is how my shoulder feels and everything else. And then come back gross and sweaty and be like, okay, I'm back from the 1.5 mile walk with this shit on. This is how the shoulder feels. Because I have that injury, so everything this shoulder dictates how my kit fits. Because I have to build everything around this guy right here.
Right.
And right now, that's what's happening with these Shaw Concepts. I have to test them out, because right now, the leading shoulder pad for me are Axle Advanced. They are, they've got like a thermoplastic shank in them, so they're like semi-rigid. They're fantastic. I love them. But I want to try different things.
Yeah.
The Shaws have been okay. They've been pretty good. Still not quite as good as the Axles for me because of my injury. But they're pretty close. I feel like if I hadn't been injured yet, the Shaws may have stopped me from getting injured.
Okay.
Because they are a really great shoulder pad. Definitely better than anything I've been issued in the past, by hands down. And they're a million times better than the Faro socks you can buy, the real thin pads. I'm like, those things.
Why would you say that? Why would it have stopped you from getting injured? Like, explain that. Why? I don't understand.
It's just the wear and tear of the weight and how the stuff sits on your shoulders. The Shaw pads are thicker. They distribute the weight more evenly across your entire shoulder.
Okay.
And my shoulder injuries came from Well, the biggest injury came from a fall, but they also came from long-term just wear, tear, and degradation of wearing armor
Wearing
repeatedly. Heavy armor without proper support.
Oh, okay.
And the shaw pads are designed to distribute the weight more evenly across the whole trapezius.
Yeah, your trap.
So they're the axles are even better for that. The axles have a really cool shape. They're like I reviewed them on the channel. They're like a wedge shape. And the axles, when you get them on with weight, especially with plates, they will kind of mold to your shoulder and bend. But they have a like a stiffener in them, like so they'll actually take some of that weight and like retain it and hold it more. Okay. So it's kind of cool. It's whole new world. The axles are my only complaint with the axles is, and I got a big neck. I'm like so I got a big old neck, man. I got like a 20-inch neck. I'm a big necked guy. That's the other thing the Shaws are good about, because I do have a big ass neck. So the Shaws have all that rounded, but that nice padding
soft,
goes all the way up to like a quarter of the way up pad.
Yep.
So that when it does rub your neck, you start getting into unorthodox shooting positions. That is not sawing into your neck like some of the other pads. And the axles will do that. The axles will get up into my neck a little bit.
Okay.
So there's trade-offs.
Yep.
So that is something these guys are going for.
So ideally, if you were making it and you could dictate, you would have that design right there with that padding going up, the comfort part with that harder insert, maybe.
Yep, that's exactly what I would do. Okay. If I had Shaw's ear and was like, "Hey, man, you should do this," I would tell them to make an ARC version 3 that was exactly like this, but with a stiffener in it.
Yeah,
that's what I would do. If I had Shaw's ear, I'd be like, "Hey, man, you make great kit. Your stuff's badass. You need to make a structural shoulder pad."
Right.
Your V2s with a structural piece in it. Mm-hmm. That's where it's at. It's all about structure right now. These cummerbunds that I'm running on here, they're structural. Whole different ball game, whole different world.
Yeah.
Because they have give, they have movement, they have flex, but there's just enough structure in them to kind of get the plates up and off you just a little bit. And short of wearing what like Cry called, I think their stick system where it like hooked into your belt line and then had like a hard like plastic shank that went into the plate bag and then pushed the carrier up.
Pushed it up like a suspender, a reverse suspender.
It was like but like it was rigid. Short of something like that, that's your next best thing. Are these like semi-structural cummerbunds? Semi-structural shoulder pads.
Well, that's what backpackers. Sorry. Backpackers have those big backpacks that go way up, way up here. They're really long. Yeah. They have that. What do you call it? Lower lumbar support, almost, or it sits. It's a hard pack or a hard structure that has a spine of its own that holds some of that weight, and the weight actually sits on the top of your ass cheeks. Yeah, and it feels really comfortable. Yeah.
It's just like your lower back and on your hips. It carries most of the weight.
Right.
Because that's what kills a lot of us, man, over time in combat arms, is you're wearing all this armor, and most of it starts to just hang on your traps.
It cuts into your shoulders, bro.
Yeah, it just cuts in your shoulders and hangs on your traps. And
the first terrible. Ruck march we went on in I think it was MCT, actually. It was after boot camp. 16 miles. It was part of the program we had to finish before, we could get through it, the process, whatever. And with full gear and the helmet and the backpack, it's the Alice pack that we had back then. Those things, the first 2 miles, 3 miles, like it's fine. Like you don't even think about it. You're thinking about all the things they're telling you about, which is your feet, right? Like your socks. Change your socks out, that kind of shit, so you don't get blisters. So you're thinking, and not rolling your ankle or whatever, on the hike. But it's, dude, after, an hour of hiking, your shoulders and your helmet is, I mean, I'm talking like it's so painful. Guys are like yelling out in pain, like
Yeah, you're just like, ah.
like you got to do a war cry because
Yeah, you have to
it
because you're
fucking
dying.
hurts so bad. You're not used to it yet.
Yeah,
So,
I remember my first 12-mile hump, man. That shit was fucking horrible.
oh,
And we had really bad like they didn't issue us, the squadron didn't get proper rucks for us. Like they just got basically really big backpacks.
yeah.
They weren't rucksacks. So there was no frame in these things.
Mm.
And there was just like, oh my god, what the fuck are we doing? So we've got full kit on, so we got body armor and then these just basically really large backpacks with no frame, no structure to them at all, and they're loaded with all of our shit.
Yeah.
And then we're just cinching these things down, and it was just like, oh, what the fuck are you guys thinking? Who ordered this shit? And again, me being the gear guy, I'm just like, no, this is not how you do it, guys. Fuck. And then all the guys in the squadron that have like come from other combat arms, a couple of the guys were prior Marines. We had one dude who was who was a Ranger at one point and left the Army and had joined the Navy, had like break service, joined the Navy, and now he's a Riverine. And so he was with Ranger Bat for a while, and he's just like, what the hell is this nonsense? And then we had guys who were like Seabees. They know how to ruck. They know how to have proper gear. So anybody with any common sense or experience is just miserably angry.
Yeah.
Because now we're on this 12-mile hump with all of our gear with just a big floppy backpack loaded with all of our shit. With sleek system carrier mollied to the bottom of it. It was just like, you're miserable. And it was the most miserable hump I've ever done. And as soon as I got back, I went right to an Army-Navy store and I bought an Alice pack. I bought a large Alice, and I was like, I will use this next time. And I did. At least I had a frame to use.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't have frames in ours. I don't know. That's weird.
It wasn't the best thing in the world, but at least I had a frame rucksack. And then when we got to Iraq, the Marines hooked a bunch of us up. We were working with the Marines, and they were just like, "You guys don't have rucks?" We're like, "No." We're like, "Oh shit, come down to the laydown area," and they hooked us up with a bunch of Ilby rucks. So we all had like nice ass fucking Mark hat Ilbys, and we're like, "Hell yeah, okay, this is where it's at, man."
Oh my!
So anytime we had to go do anything extended, we took these Ilbys out. And of course, the squadron was just like, "You can't use those. Those are Marine bags." We're like, "Yeah, but our bags suck, so we're using these."
That's awesome.
And we didn't have to turn them in either, because it was great. So I had a really nice Ilby for like years, and then I sold it like an idiot. I should have kept it.
Right.
It was a nice bag.
That's cool.
Again, the trial and tribulations of a gear queer. I get things, and then I go, I need money to buy new things, so I sell it all.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of it. But yeah, well, now what you're doing is, even if you do that, you're reviewing it, you're filming it. So at least there's a history of it,
I wish I had started the channel earlier, because I had some really neat shit that would have made fantastic content.
Right.
And I wish I had started the channel just 6 months before I did, because I had just started gutting everything that I had like collected and saved up over the years, because I was getting ready to get out of the military, and I was just like, I don't need all this shit, and I started getting stuff. And I just had some really neat stuff, some really old stuff, some unique stuff, and now I'm just like, fuck, I wish I had that, because that would make a great episode. That would make a great review. I kick myself every time I look back and was like, dude, the stuff I had on hand, in my hands, and I just didn't do anything with it. So
yeah,
it is what it
happens.
Is. What are you gonna?
So what do you got? What do you got coming up that you want to tell people about?
Coming up, we got a bunch of new content coming up. Like I said at the beginning of the podcast, I've got stuff pretty much slated out all the way through at least January right now. Yeah. We're going back to the old schedule, so it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. They should come out around 5 p.m. Central Time. Sometimes I bust the timeline just because family life and stuff like that. But for the most part, we're Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 5 p.m. We're steadily getting back on track, and we're going to have some new content. We're going to test drive some new ideas, some new stuff, like I talked about in the episode here today, like the some assembly required videos. And if those do well, I'll make those like a regular thing. Every time I get something new that needs to be built up, I'll do it. And I may go through some of my stuff and just rip it apart and rebuild it on camera just so you can see it done.
For real.
So those will become like their own separate playlists. They'll become, and those will come out outside of the normal programming windows, so like Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
How about your shorts?
And, shorts.
You do shorts on YouTube. You got a bunch of them.
We're going to try to pump out more shorts. We're going to try to pump a lot more shorts out. The shorts, I still haven't really nailed anything down. For the shorts, I was doing a lot of like just random shit or things that I felt just wouldn't warrant a full-length video. Mm-hmm. And that's what I was doing for shorts. I think we're going to kind of keep the same kind of like energy there. We're going to do a lot of just like... I use shorts as a way to answer questions on the channel. If I have a question that I think could be answered better in a visual format, I will make a short on it.
Gotcha.
So I a lot of times that's kind of how I use my shorts. I don't necessarily use them as like full-fledged reviews, but if there's something that is not quite full-time review worthy, I might just do a short on it.
Yeah.
And we're going to be doing more. I'm going to be using the shorts more. I just haven't quite figured out how to really tackle that animal yet. And we are going to definitely try to hit it depending on school when I get into college during the rest of this year. Depending on school schedules and everything, we're really aiming to hit at least one big event this year. Me and my son, and possibly a buddy of mine. Okay. We're shooting for one event, maybe a local event. We're going to shoot for probably a Third Coast Airsoft event, maybe Stonebreaker or something like that.
Okay.
So we're gonna shoot for one event this year, and then maybe two, and just gonna keep the channel going the way it's going. We're gonna try to stay on the same schedule. And just hopefully keep the growth as steady as possible.
Yeah, I was looking at... Well, that's what I was looking over here for. I was looking at your shorts and stuff like that. You've got a lot of consistent content, which is really good, man. A lot of cool looking stuff. So, anyone that hasn't followed Muddy Reviews, look up on YouTube, on Instagram, same name. You'll see it when you search it. I'll have a link, obviously, in this video, but I love the reviews you're doing. Definitely don't worry, get yourself on camera if it warrants it. Like, if there's something you got to show that goes on your body, on your person,
you're gonna see a lot more of this ugly face on camera.
So. Yeah, do it, man. Just get over it. I promise you, it's not going to take long. It's not going to take long to get over that feeling. Yeah. Even if you're editing your own videos, which I've edited all of our own videos, and I had to see the first couple months, I had to see myself on here when I'm editing and hear myself, and I'm going, oh God, I don't have enough time to edit all this stuff out because I'm trying to
That's why I let my wife do it. It's
blur
wonderful.
My face. I'm trying to I don't like the way I sound. My face looks like a fucking pumpkin because I was swelled up,
I have you to thank. You got me to come on your show, or you're like, hey, reach out. I was like, let's do that. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go on the show. And because you had the open invite, I was like, we're gonna have Stuka to thank. He was like, dude, you need to go on this show.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I'll check it out. And I checked it out, and I liked the show. This is pretty cool, man. So I reached out to you. Like, hey, you got this open invite. I would love to try it. This is cool. And then you're like, yeah, come on on.
Yeah.
So it got me in front of the camera. It got this out there.
That's right. Because
that was the first time.
Yeah.
That was the face reveal.
That's right.
And then I jumped on a couple of the lives. I popped in when I could. I'd be like, hey,
Yeah.
Usually, if my camera's off during the live, it's usually because I'm just sitting at the dinner table and someone else is around, or I don't want
talking. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. But it's usually because it's 11:30 at night, and it's everyone else is kind of in bed, and I'm trying to be quiet and just out here and hanging out in the living room because we're in a much smaller house now.
Gotcha.
It's a 2-bedroom house. It's a 2-bedroom homestead.
Yeah.
So, but the other night I turned the camera on because I could. I was like, okay, fuck it, boom, camera's on.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't for coming on your show, I don't know if I would have took that step yet.
Yeah.
I would have been more hesitant because at that point I was like, well, it's there. Face is out there.
Yeah, it's out there, bro.
The next big one, I guess, would be putting my full name out there, but I don't want to do that yet.
You don't have to do that. I mean, you
I don't
just
need to do that yet.
Yeah.
I'll keep the anonymity for now.
Is awesome, dude. I love it. Yeah.
It's not like it's hard to figure. It wouldn't be hard to figure out who the fuck I am. I mean, I'm wearing my squadron fucking sweater. Yeah, you see my face.
Good,
if someone was a sleuth hard enough, they could probably find me.
Yeah, well, the name's not as important as the face on your videos. On your videos, exactly. It's way more. There's way more connection when you have when someone's telling, especially when you're doing reviews, because you're doing reviews like you're saying, hey man, this this pen right here is like, okay, let me tell you about this pen, right? So if I was just doing, I was off camera and holding the pen, you just saw the pen, it's like it was really impersonal. So you don't listen as much, right? But when you have somebody's face, you can connect with that person. No one, not everyone's going to like us, and this is a standard rule from the day we're born. Okay, like. So you can't please everyone. We've all heard that. I
accepted it a long time ago. The military helped me with that one.
Absolutely. Well, even growing up, like you learn really fast. And when you go to a school, like when you're in elementary school, you learn really quickly those differences, right? So
some people are going to hate you just because.
Just because.
They're going to have no reason. Matter. They're just going to be like, I don't like you. Why?
Tall, skinny, fat, short, glasses, no glasses, big nose, small nose. Brown eyes, green eyes, blue eyes, your eyebrows are weird, your hair's weird, like every fucking thing out there. This is why, this is a really such a common thing that our parents taught us when we were little. Sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt me. That we had to say that, back to them. We had to repeat that so that we could learn not to get our feelings so hurt when we went to school that we couldn't function. And you learn, you kind of get a little bit calloused. Yeah, I know it's not the best thing in the world, but it's also not the worst thing where, there's a balance, right? It doesn't turn 100%. You cold-hearted where you're going to just, be a masochist or a sadomasochist, whatever, and be okay with it.
A nihilist.
Yeah, you're going to be normal. You're going to be able to function in society because we all realize we can't control what other people say, think, or do. We can only control what we think and say and do, and especially say, and that's been a topic, hot topic over the last, 4 years, 5 years, where freedom of speech kind of thing, like trying to, curb what people say. And that's not the direction we should be going in. What we should be going in is teaching people at a young age, like you and I grew up, where our parents taught us, hey, a good sound body and mind inside, right? Like be strong in here so that you don't have to be, you don't want to be taken out, right? Disabled or taken off mission just because somebody said something weird to you. Like how fragile do you have to be, right? So it's a process that you learn, and you should be over that by the time you're 7, 8 years old, 9 years old. Like this is a growing process, and these people that are adults that still do it now and are crying because somebody said something mean to them. I'm not saying if you had a bad day, that's okay.
Men on the internet said terrible things to me. I can't get out of bed.
Yeah, right. If it stops you from functioning, then the problem's not with the person that said something to you. The problem's with you.
The problem's with you.
And we should be stronger and be able to be an example with these people. But anyway, that's so don't be afraid of getting on here, man. You're going to be great. People will connect with you, and the ones that don't, they don't. It's okay. And that's just it, man. Like
if I'm not their cup of tea, I'm not their cup of tea, man.
Absolutely, bro.
And I'm good. I'm good with that. Just
you got a lot to offer. That's the thing. You got a lot to offer, and
hope so.
Yeah, you're the information you have, all the gear you're talking about, and all the way you're talking about it. I was in the military for 4 years, and active duty. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about because we didn't have that gear when I was in. So it'd be very, very useful for somebody like me to go to a milsim to know, hey, I don't want to spend fucking $1,000 on all this gear to go to a milsim. I want to spend
and you don't need to.
Can I do like
That's the
$300
best part.
right? You know,
Yeah,
like
easily could too. It's the best part.
And that's what you know.
Yeah, I think my passion shows through too, because I love this shit. I really do, and I love
we know
sharing with people.
Absolutely.
And I love like I was an instructor on and off in the military. I love teaching. I love sharing, and I just love being like, hey, this is fucking cool, man. Look at this thing.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, I love that. So,
dude, that's cool,
I hope
man.
it shows through. I hope people see it, and I hope they enjoy it. And my big shout out to any of my regulars that are watching this episode. You guys are fucking awesome, and I appreciate all of you. And anybody who comes to my channel from this episode, welcome. I will love to have you around because everybody is really cool that does regularly visit my stuff. I have very few major trolly people, so everyone is really cool. A lot of people just share information. It's pretty nice. It's a real chill vibe, as the kids like to say.
Sure.
As the youngins say.
The youngins, yeah.
Yeah.
I hear you.
I get some crossover with the BB Warrior. Some of his people come through my stuff and vice versa.
Okay.
He's got a great channel. If you're not familiar with him, check him out.
I'm actually not.
Yeah, you should check out the BB Warrior.
Okay.
Lane's got some good stuff. He's got some great content, and we seem to be kind of like gingerly touching tips as far as like our audiences lately.
Oh shit!
So that's kind of cool.
Just the tip, or okay?
Just a tip. But it's kind of nice. Like Lane's come onto my he watches my channel now, and like we follow each other, and he's commented on some of my videos. It's been kind of cool. Okay. So it's nice to know that like
this is what I love, man. And talking with people. How did I not know about this guy? I've never seen his YouTube channel.
His channel's huge. When I saw that he was following me, I was like, "What? Okay, what up?"
Awesome. Okay.
So that's you should have him on your show, man.
Shout out to BB Warrior. I will definitely.
You need to try to get him on your show. He is awesome, wholesome dude. Great content creator. Just a good guy. Like I love his stuff. Like,
well, I love having. I mean, he's got a bigger channel as far as subs go. Bigger channel than mine, which I love. People, I love having people on that have. I never really reached out to really big YouTubers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, Kicking Mustang I did because that was a when I reached out to him, it was a very specific reason and thing that was going on with him in the UK. It was at the height of all these. The uproar and the outrage and whatever, they were all trying to ban him from everywhere. And
he's a polarizing figure, man.
Yeah. So it was about that specific thing. But I really like talking to majority of people that are, passionate about what they're doing, and they don't have a big online presence yet, so. Yeah.
I mean, that's what I love. You definitely helped me. And,
good.
But I think it would be cool if he was able to take the time and do the show, because I would love to hear just the way him talk about stuff.
Me too.
Just a great dude, man.
Okay.
And his Discord is really good too. He's got a Discord. He's got a great Discord. I got to do that. I still need to start a Discord. That is definitely that's
really helpful.
Yeah. That's on the 2023, 2024 to do list. Is start my Discord. I'm gonna force my son to be my first moderator, because he knows how to use Discord really well. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So
no, I started the Discord, but I didn't actually set it up the way it is now.
Yeah,
I had some followers do that because they were teenagers and they knew Discord way better than I did. The only way I knew Discord was to use it for video games, just the voice chat like this. Yeah, and I didn't know how to actually set up servers and channels.
I don't either.
I didn't know what the hell they were talking about. I was like,
I don't know none of that shit.
Can you do that for me?
Shit. I didn't know you guys had a buy sell trade.
Who?
You guys?
Oh, on our Discord? Yeah.
Fuck.
So I'm not the best at promoting our stuff, to be honest.
I did that. Trifecta Airsoft. Buy sell trade. Get on it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we sold merch for years, or we listed merch for years.
Yeah.
And we weren't really good at, I always forgot. to like mention stuff in there in our videos about, hey, look, click on this, the shameless plugs people do, whatever. I would be so focused on editing the video the right way or whatever, we're recording. I would just forget, but we had merch right away. And we had a merch store. I think we sold like, I don't know, a couple of t-shirts and a hoodie and one hat in like 4 years. Okay. So I don't know.
I have to start shilling the Amazon thing and be like, hey guys, look, I've got the affiliate thing now. If I do an Amazon video and you like the thing, use my link to go to the thing. Help me out.
Yeah.
Hook a brother up. So
it doesn't hurt them to do that.
Yeah, now that I just got it started, I gotta start commenting and talking about that on the channel whenever I do a video that has a Amazon relation. I gotta start bringing that up.
Absolutely. So how did you meet this BB Warrior guy?
Through YouTube and stuff, man. He started following me, and I knew about him. I was following him already because he's a big channel and he makes really great, wholesome content. Oh, excuse me. God, I am perfect.
It's so weird that, well, you know how the search stuff goes on YouTube and stuff. When I first started the channel, I started searching all these different, of course, I got all the big ones.
Instagram.
First. Okay.
That's also through Instagram. Okay. So we kind of crossed paths through Instagram and YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I didn't mean to target. It just hit my head.
No, that's right. Yeah, that's okay.
So I guess periphery-wise, because I mean, I've had a presence on Instagram for a hot minute, and I've had a presence on Facebook too under the same kind of name.
Okay.
So there's probably people that know of me through those two spheres for a while. Because I've been playing forever. I've been playing for like 20 years, damn near. Like it's like 18 years at this point, 18, 19 years. Yep. So we probably cross paths here and there. I don't know if I ever met him, but one of these days I'll get to an event and actually get to meet the guy.
Yeah.
But that's kind of how. So when I started the YouTube channel, people I guess started putting two and two together. Like, oh shit, that's you, and I'm like, yeah, it's me. And that's when I changed the name of my Instagram to be the same as my YouTube. So I was like, I might as well make them match. And then it kind of worked out. So, but that's
good.
There's been a lot of cross traffic from that, just from people, because there's a lot of people that I didn't even know did YouTube content, but I've followed them on Instagram for like 4 years now, or 5 years now, and I've talked to them through like DMs and stuff in the past.
Right.
And we've bought stuff from them or whatever, and just back and forth. And then find out later, it's like, oh wow, you're that same guy? I didn't know that. Holy shit! Okay, cool. So it's kind of neat,
funny, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, fuck, man, we've been talking forever.
Yeah, it's been a while, bro.
Man, every time we do like 3-hour shows every time.
Hey, man, we got a lot to talk about. It's
I'm a wordy man.
Yeah, me too. Now, I like to ask questions.
It's all good,
and I ramble as well. So I
do too.
You had pertinent stuff to talk about with your gear and stuff, and I
think so.
I talk shit. I don't know.
I love it. No, I like it. It's a conversation. I think we make a good show. It's a
absolutely, good thing. Dude. Well, man, it's been really good talking with you again. Of course.
Hell yeah.
I appreciate all the gear reviews you're doing and the time you put into it.
Thank you.
I think it's really helpful, honestly. I think if more people knew about it, they would really appreciate that kind of stuff, especially before they go on the airsoft field and get involved in stuff, or even after they go to their first big event and then they go, oh shit, my gear sucks. Where can I find good gear or good reviews on this stuff? And then they find you and they go, oh shit, okay, I should have watched this before. So,
I hope so. I hope that's the way it goes. That's why I even review weird shit like dry bags, because I'm like, hey, guess what? When you go to Milton West, you're gonna need this. It's a dry bag.
Right.
So
yeah, that's cool, man. Thank you so much, bro. It's been fun hanging out.
No worries, brother. Thanks for letting me back on again, man.
Enjoy.
We'll have to do it again sooner than later.
Yeah, absolutely. Enjoy your retirement from the military. 20 years of service. Shout out to you. Hell yes.
Thank you.
Anyone that has not been in the military, props to this guy for enduring 20 years of inspections and fucking politics and BS for that long. Okay.
Enduring is
the training. Okay. The training is always fun. It's all the other shit the bureaucracy shit
Yeah.
that usually runs people out. Okay.
The fun training is fun, and then you have the other training, like
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
suicide awareness training, and well, let's go. Let's go sit in a gymnasium for 16 hours and do PowerPoints all day. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
People don't know about that one.
I'd rather ruck for fucking 16 miles and have that shit cut into my shoulders. Okay.
Yep, same here. All day. Anyway, we're gonna get off on a tangent. So.
All right, brother.
All right, brother.
Man. Take
Later,
care,
dude.
man.
Thanks for having me on.
All
Peace.
right.